too short to box with God. Hold one. Andre. Yes! From out of nowhere. Hold two. Armbar.
Who are you to doubt El Danny?
Still got 200 more.
This is Robbie Eagles.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
Hi, this is Mimic. This is 5 times the world's heavyweight champion, the Scrap Daddy himself, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
This is Brian Alvarez, and you are listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Welcome to the show, folks. My name is Josh Sharma, and thanks very much for downloading Wrestle Radio Australia. This is our first episode.
Oh, yeah! G'day, this is Big Brody Marshall.
This is Brian Alvarez.
This is Dean Brady of the Millennials.
This is Jurassic Punk Sid Parker.
How many of you guys have heard the term kayfabe?
Hello, doggers. This is Jay Hunter from OSW Review.
This is Matt Grim Basso.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
This is Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, and you are locked in
to Wrestle Radio Australia.
I in the game, I'm champion, I'm Triple H. Undertaker, I'm your maker, bury the brother like Kane. Ooh, 1-3, hit the tombstone, hit the choke slam on face. Ooh, yeah, like a macho heel, turn like a muscle. If you sour like tomatoes, I'ma keep a couple models. Ooh, and you may call me HBK. When I'm tuning up the vein, you best be getting in my way. Ooh, yeah, I'm degenerate, I love it, yes, I love it. If you wait down with that, then I got 2 words for you, suck it. Too sweet, put your fangs up. Too sweet, pouring up the cup. This big busy 23, got me feeling way too sweet.
I was trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. Put a square peg in a round hole, just never seems to fit.
This is Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is Kevin Owens.
Hey, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It is the man, Becky Lynch.
It's Rhea Ripley here, and you're listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Hello and welcome to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling. My name is Lachlan Albert, and I am joined by 2 lovely gentlemen. First of all, by the podfather himself, Todd Eastman. Todd, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. We are also joined by... I can hear our own theme song. That's fun. I'm also joined by the man behind Pario Magazine and Oz Wrestling Cards and every other wrestling project in the world and otherwise. It's Jamie Apps. Jamie, good to see you, mate.
Good to see you too, and yes, I do too much.
Way too much. Clear, and now you're out here stealing Todd's gimmick of saying that everyone should listen to you.
Well, am I wrong?
I mean...
Yes, you are.
Occasionally. Okay, I tell you what, when we make our predictions bets, it hasn't been going that well for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's... Is that your fault, or is that New Japan booking? Really?
No, I got
Don't
the
let
New
the
Japan...
facts get in the way of a good story.
I got my Rumble predictions right, though. I'm good on a Rumble.
True. That's true. You did hit on a Rumble. Speaking of a Rumble... We've got competitors to announce for a Rumble tonight. We've got shows to talk about from all around Australia. We're looking at Pro Wrestling Academy Showcase. We've got results from WWE. We've got upcoming stuff from WWE. We've got results from AEW. I know I say it every week. There just isn't a quiet week for wrestling anymore, right?
No. It looked like this week was kind of going to be for Australian wrestling for us. And then all of a sudden there's a bunch of stuff.
Oh, it was never going to be. I knew it was never going to be. That's why I kept quiet.
But even then, All Out happened over the weekend. So that's, one of the biggest biggest pay-per-view events on the calendar for the year, at least in terms of number of matches, because that thing was massive, as usual. So, when do we get a break? We're not getting one. It's just going to be go, 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 go.
Well, also this week they just started announcing, the picture become a little bit more clear now for what is going to be on Crown Jewel for at least 3 of the matches.
That's right. Well, I mean, it's coming up soon as well, right? We're 25th of September tonight as we record it. Crown Jewel's going to be on October 11th. It's just over 2 weeks away. It's 2 weeks and 3 days away.
Yep. Yeah, exciting stuff.
So what do you guys think about being AJ and Cena down here? Do you think if they'd announced that, I can't really say, do you think if they'd announced that, you want to move more tickets? Because the tickets...
They moved all the tickets they could.
They already moved the tickets already.
Yeah, no, I like that match. I don't like how it's going to be sort of promoted going forward because Cena's not going to be on TV, so it's going to be all AJ heavy lifting and social stuff.
I don't know how they thought that was a good idea, and like, especially when like Cena, you're going to be in the city, you're going to be in the country. Why don't you pop by SmackDown? Why don't you pop by fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not like he's flying in on the Saturday or the Sunday morning.
No,
it'd be crazy if that was the case, especially with, I'm sure, the amount of media he's going to be doing down here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a great match, but like the specifics of what match Cena was going to have, like, I don't think they've been super important for a little while. They've been booking on the fact that it's Cena's retirement tour. So they were going to sell tickets for whatever the Cena match was, right? It could be Cena versus Faceless Performance Center Guy number 3, and it would sell the same number of tickets, really.
The big question for me is the Cena shirt green and gold or Australian flag?
Red, white, and blue flag colours. Yeah, see, that's green and gold feels like classic Cena colours, doesn't it? It'd look good.
Yeah. It'd look pretty cool.
Go. It'd look great. Todd, taking bets? Do you think it's flag colours?
I think it's green and gold.
Yeah.
Because the problem is red, white, and blue, which is the Australian colours, really.
It's American.
It's American anyway, so it's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, and it's not like we're going to have a big fight with Brazil over it, right?
No.
Because, like, and, you know, you look at especially the green and the way that represents not just Australia, but Australian wrestling, like in PWA, Pro Wrestling Australia's got that big, vibrant green colour. And that's the show that we're going to be talking about tonight, is PWA's Academy Showcase, which was at the Beer Shed and has gone up free on YouTube. Can you believe it? Also worth mentioning that this is from a big event that PWA did at the Beer Shed that involved 2 shows. A show during the day, which was the Academy Showcase, and then a second show that was more the Black Label, like, you know, plus show.
Do you want to, sorry, mate, do you want to fiddle with your microphone for a bit? And I'll do a little bit of something here. Yeah, what I think we need to sort of preface before we start talking about the actual show and stuff of that nature, that we preface that this is very much an academy show with a lot of rookies and that sort of stuff on that show. So we are not going to be very, like, overly critical about this thing because it's like these guys are new and they're young and they're learning. We won't be judging it the same way. Well, I say judging. We won't be critiquing it the same way we would like critique a Riot City show or a Melbourne City Wrestling show or even like a Pro League show. We just, because it's, A, it's not fair to the guys, and B, that's just not what the show is designed for.
And there's like a couple of experienced people on this show, right? Like your Jack J. Bonzers and your Big Fudges know what they're doing, but they are there to help out some younger talent. So they're not, you know, showing off how great of a wrestler they are. They're there to give experience to those less experienced workers and, you know, kind of help them along a bit. And Alex Fireheart's hit the nail on the head saying, yeah, the expectations are different for something like this than a standard main PWA show. Check. Am I sounding a bit better, boys?
You are, my friend.
Wonderful. Well, look, let's kick off this card then, which opened with Skater Boy Pidgey going one-on-one with Boy Scout Hogs and managing to get the win. Skater Boy Pidgey is somebody who has really been establishing himself within PWA for a little while, and I think the gimmick is working. It's worth noting here, and you can tell on the broadcast version, on the YouTube version, there was some issues with the audio. So the songs have been added in post. The entrance songs have been added in the YouTube version, which I think is a great way to do it. Adding the music over the top of the entrance is really helpful for how clear it comes in through the audio. But that was clearly done because it wasn't playing in the building. And there's some references to that throughout the show, the fact that there was some audio difficulties there. And it seems like Skaterboy Pidgey and Boy Scout Hogs kind of had to fight against that, the crowd being a little bit less hyped up because they were wondering what was going on with the music. I think Boy Scout Hogs is a really fun gimmick. That idea of here's a guy who is clearly like an old guy with an older dude without a lot of hair who's a bit, bit rough, bit tough, and giving him a Boy Scout gimmick and having him be, almost that scout leader, that little bit rambunctious. I think it's really fun. And I think he really held his own here against Skaterboy Pidgey, who's been consistently proving that he can go and he's someone worth being on that main PWA card. I'll pass to Jamie first. Jamie, what?
I just have a quick question, mate.
Yeah.
Have you seen Boy Scout Hogs and Jack Tar in the same place at the same time?
Oh my God!
Get Xander on that.
Jamie, what did you? He just takes the beard off and then puts it back on later. Jamie, what did you think of Skaterboy Pidgey and Boy Scout Hogs?
I like this. It was I got a very solid impression of Boy Scout Hogs the first time I saw him. Obviously, that character is very Man Scout Manning inspired, I think. Like, it's straight out of that playbook. The one thing I probably would not have had is, it's kind of a problem throughout the show, is the referee that they had for this show, quite a big lad. And when they're pushing Boy Scout Hogs as like this big powerhouse guy against Pidgey, and then he gets in the face of the ref and the ref is taller than him, it kind of pulled me out of that moment. So that's my one big issue with this whole show is I get that you want to give a trainee a bit of experience as a referee and get those sort of pay your dues type things out there, but he's just too big to be a ref. That guy maybe needs to find different ways to be involved in the shows.
Alex Fireheart pointing out that Scoutmaster Hogs would probably work better as a name. I think the only issue with that, Alex, is that I don't know how many people in Australia know what a Scoutmaster is. Whereas if you say Boy Scout, it brings along that imagery like straight away. So while I agree, I think that this might still be the right choice. Todd, what did you think of this match?
I tell you, there's when I was watching the match, and he goes, anyone want to see a knot? I was really hoping he was going to do that. That Alex Shelley, Orange Cassidy, tie the guy up so he can't move. I was really hoping that
with the arms around the
yeah. Like Outback Adams put me in it before, and it's a pain in the ass. But it's like it would be perfect for someone like him. Like literally tying someone in a knot. He's a scout.
Yeah.
I think,
and then the way to get out of it is they do the punt in the butt,
kick up the bum.
Yeah. I think Skaterboy Pidgey, and this is like being very, I don't know, like I'm probably overreaching here. I think he has as much potential as when we first saw Tuckman. He's got a lot of potential because he's a kid that you look at and you immediately just like.
Yeah.
You like him. He's like, oh, look at him. He seems real happy. He's a nice lad.
But he's also like little, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
maybe that guy's going to beat the tar out of him. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
Give me a minute.
He's stressed.
Skaterboy really got you. Holy dolly.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, Lachlan's gone.
Yeah, I get sort of Jimmy Townsend vibes from Pidgey as well. Like, I think he has, like you said, all of the potential if he puts on a bit of size, fills out a bit, and just continues to work hard in the training and stuff like that. Like, he has everything that you would need.
Yeah. I also want to see a little bit of colour in his gear.
Yeah, everything like being
very,
black is a bit...
Yeah, I'm just like, man, just like a little bit of colour, something to like spark it up so like people know that you're at least a baby face. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just a presentation thing that I think it would come in really handy. Overall, like, Yep.
I think like that presentation thing, it's leaning into the 90s skater aesthetic of like the kind of the emo thing.
Yeah.
But like it's 2025. Lean into the modern day skater who is bright and colorful and out there.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it would work really well for him because it'll give he already has that look about him where, like I said before, he comes through that curtain and you like the guy. Mm-hmm. Like before I met him, he just come up and he had this big smile on his face. He's like, "Oh, hey, how are you? I'm Pidgey. Oh, hey, I'm Pidgey." Like really nice looking, really nice lad. Like it makes me want to cheer for him.
Yep.
So he already has that thing that is really hard to work on. Do you know what I mean? It's really hard to work on being likable. So he already has that going for him. So that's already puts him ahead of a lot of people in the business. He just needs to do those little things, and that's what these shows are for. And I like pairing him off with someone who was a big dude like Boy Scout was really good as well. I think that contrast was good. They worked it really well together. Again, I'll probably say this a lot. They've got work to do, but we all knew that going into this thing because like I said, it's an Academy show. They're coming up, but tons of upside. I really enjoyed Hogues' interaction with the crowd.
Oh yeah, he was very good at that.
He's very good at that. That's one of those things where you can learn all the moves, the working the crowd sort of thing that doesn't come naturally. So he has that. That's something that really maybe Pidgey could take a note of from him. Because Pidgey's very good, but he's not very loud about it. Mm-hmm. You can see him doing subtle things with Hogues, but it's not enough that the crowd can cotton on and go. Where something like Mana and Manouche later on did that really well.
Yep.
Interacting with the crowd.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing I picked up from this card overall. It was that the rookies were very good at interacting with the crowd, and I think this is the perfect sort of show for both the quote-unquote veterans that they're paired off with. They're going to learn something from this, as well as these rookies would have learned a lot from this as well. That is a look.
Oh, Lord. Are you all right, brother?
You feel like John Moxley over here.
What are you doing? We're not a deathmatch podcast. Oh, my God.
It's everywhere.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
I tell you what, though, he's really good because I never saw him gig. I didn't
better than Moxley.
Oh, yeah, way better than Moxley or Punk.
All right, I'm still here. I'm bleeding everywhere, but I'm still here.
Okay, mate. Do you want us to maybe
He's got the Crimson Mask.
Yeah. Is there a way we can just remove the camera and so you can just talk?
There you go. Hang on. Yeah, there we go.
Thank God. It was just very.
Yeah, I don't know how well YouTube would have liked that.
No. No. We'd have to turn just that one square black and white.
Goodness.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. What a start to the show.
Off and running. Wowee. Oh, dear. Well, I'll carry on, mate. The next match we had here was Ari Slater and the Anomaly against Josh Myers and William Harris Sanders. Jamie, I don't know about you, but for me, this is when I was like, they really need commentary for this show.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Especially, when they're pairing, very disparate random characters together. You really do need that commentary to come in and explain why is someone like Myers pairing with Sanders and Slater pairing with the Anomaly. They are total opposites, but somehow they've been paired in this, and without commentary, you kind of just left thinking, this is random. Did they just pull names out of a hat and got paired off or something? So it's strange. But I enjoyed the actual match.
Literally, though, without that, opening video, I would not known, what William Harris Sanders' gimmick was.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, okay, he's an Ock Health and Safety guy. But then I'm thinking, Ock Health and Safety guy must be a heel.
Yes.
Because, like, I don't know about any of you guys, but at work, Ock Health and Safety guys tend to be quite annoying.
Yeah, I expected him to be the heel in it, but kind of, it was weird. There wasn't really a clear face heel in this, really.
No, it was almost like Josh Myers was kind of heely, but not. And same with like the only one who I could tell was really trying to work to be a heel was Slater.
Yeah.
Like, he was really trying to work to be a heel, but then I'm like, I don't know what your character is. Like, you've got a basketball singlet with a heart on it.
I think he was supposed to be like a college cheerleader, like the male cheerleader.
All right.
Because as soon as he came out, I went, "That's a future member of PPK right there."
Yeah.
Like, I could see them doing a whole induction. You can be a pledge for 6 months, and Frankie and Nikki are just going to bully the crap out of you until you're actually good.
Yeah. And it was, like you said, just weird having those, like that character then tagging up with someone called the Anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think I wouldn't want to touch someone like that.
Yep.
So, yeah. I like the match. The match was fine, but I think it was just the... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Jamie.
Yeah, I think, like with this whole show, it has no commentary, and that does make it harder to watch. It is kind of like, I'm a little bit lost on some of these things where the Black Label shows you at least know the stories going into it. So if the commentary all of a sudden cut out on a Black Label show, you'd be okay because you had that background knowledge.
Yeah, especially in this lower part of the card when you've got like more of the rookies. Like like this match and then the McCabe match later on. Were two ones where, like, because we know pretty much everyone else in all the other matches. Like, I know Melissa, I know Fudge, I know Bonza, I know both the teams that are in the main event. The people I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird for me to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it. Like, it was something I was struggling with as well. The Anomaly, though, I enjoyed. I think I liked his performance in this one better than... I can't remember what the last show we saw him on, but we saw him on a previous show.
Yeah, I think it was another... Geez, what was it? It might have been another Academy show?
Oh, it might have been like a Mounties show or something, maybe?
Yes, I think it was.
But yeah, I liked, like Alex has said, the way he was moving around the ring was very cool. Like, he's incorporated the character into the movement and how he acts, not just this is the character and then I'm just a good wrestler. They are one in the same now.
Yeah. Alex Farhat, by the way, said, well, that and the Anomaly crawling around on all fours, but also talking normally was a bit odd. Personally, I would have expected almost a Wake style, just make noises shtick. Yeah, that is fair too. But also, like Alex said, but, you know, they're still figuring things out. Not a huge thing, just nitpicks. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. These are all people that are very young in their careers. And, like, it takes a while to sometimes work out what you want to do with the character that you want to... What you want to portray? What do you want to go with? So, and
it's all well and good to have a character pitch it and get it approved and, like, this is what I'm going with. It's then using that character that you've had, and then how do I make that work in the ring when I'm in front of a crowd, not just cutting promos and how I look.
Yeah, I had this idea and it's going to be really good. But then when you get out there, the actual practicality of doing the idea is a totally different animal. Next match up after that is we had two workers that were quite well known to at least you and I, Jamie, in Big Fudge and Melissa Avarello. What did you think of this one, my friend?
I enjoyed this one a lot. I thought Mel was Mel has progressed even more since the last time we saw her. She's now like we mentioned before, interacting with the crowd. She's less focused on getting to each part of the match. She's now stopping, interacting with the crowd, getting them involved. My one nitpick is...
She's also moving them a lot more naturally around the ring too.
Oh, yeah. Much smoother around the ring now.
Yes. Yeah. I remember, I think I said that to you after I was at the Gold Coast show that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, the improvement I've seen from her from the Rumble to now, well, from the Rumble to now, is just absolutely marked improvement.
Yeah, that's just the feeling comfortable in the ring, feeling comfortable in herself, and less sort of getting out of her own head and just going naturally with the stuff.
Yeah. And like working with someone like with Fudge, who will get you out of doing stuff that are normal, out of doing like your normal, like we're just going to do a match and this is what we're going to work. The way Fudge works almost helps loosen you up. Yep. Like, okay, we're going to have a little bit of fun here. We're going to do a tortilla fight to start with. So, like, yeah, I thought this was really good. I'll be honest with you. I was shocked Fudge won it.
Yeah, same.
I thought when he went to do that choke slam, she was just going to stop, look at him, and go, "What are you doing?" and then do it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It was like when he hit the choke slam, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, cool. Didn't expect that at all.
That was my one nitpick. I would have liked to see Mel work bigger, because early in the match, Fudge hit like a head scissors and she went to the ground. I would have liked to see her not go off her feet until she missed the leg drop, and then have Fudge capitalize from that. So it was all her being bigger and more impressive, but I guess you also have the Fudge being the big guy gimmick.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard to not have him, like to have Mel act bigger than him. Although she called that out as well. Because there was a moment where she was talking to the crowd saying, he's not that big.
Yeah.
It's all in his head. He's not that big. So, yeah, I would have loved to see her just stay big. Don't go off your feet. Like, you can still, like, get hit and stumble back and stuff, but stumble back to the ropes and stay on your feet. And then when you make a mistake and miss the leg drop, then Fudge can capitalize and you can take those bumps and have the finish the way it was.
Yeah, just checking. Lachlan, are you there, mate? Are you alive? I hope you haven't bled out. No, I think somebody please.
He said he'll be back, but maybe he has bled out.
Yeah. Oh dear. But like overall, like this was probably like, aside from the main event, which was always going to be like quote unquote the best match of the card. I thought this match was like well up with it. I thought it was really good. I'm very, very impressed with the maturation of Melissa. It's that old saying in basketball, you can't teach height. Like, she's got such an advantage that when she actually really, really clicks, like it's starting to click now, but when she really, really clicks, man, there are going to be promotions begging for her to come and work for them. Just because of her look.
Yeah. Just because, the way she looks is so different from pretty much any other girl in the country at the moment.
Yeah, you got to think Australian-wise, Lena Cross would be the only other one that you would think about.
Yeah, and that's like the dream match of when Lena's back in the country every now and then.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by the time that happens again, Mel is ready to go and able to have a big moment with her. Oh, now my camera's gone.
Hang on a second. Yeah, I know. That was my fault. That's a me problem, not a you problem. Shite. Hang on. I'm just gonna remove that. And why can't you go there now? There we go.
There I am.
We've worked it out. When Lachlan is ready to come back, he will let us know. Apparently, he's having more issues than we thought. Oh, dear.
That's concerning. Please don't die.
It's the pressure. A three-man show. It's the pressure of the three-man show got to him. The pressure of having to announce the last two competitors of the Rumble just got to him. Some people just aren't built for that. It's not his fault. I jest. I very much jest. Yeah, I don't think we could talk that much more about like those two because, like I said, really, really impressed. Really impressed. Like Fudge knows what he's doing. Fudge is great at what he does as well.
Yeah,
and
Fudge is always entertaining.
Yes, yeah, and you could tell like his experience led her through to a really, really good match. They did really, really well. The next match after we had there was Jackie Lazarus against I don't know how do you say his first name?
Malik McCabe.
That's Malik. Okay, Malik McCabe. This was the match I think where I almost wanted this to be the opener because this was these guys were very rough.
Yep.
And I mean that in the nicest possible way. I don't know how much experience that they've had, and I'm not really trying to, but I really would have liked like these guys to have got split up and worked with two other guys that have had experience. I don't know if that makes sense, James.
It did seem like a strange pairing to have. Like, I think this is Jackie's debut. I don't think I've seen Jackie in. Because the only other time I've seen Jackie is as a ref. So I think this is Jackie's, like, wrestling in-ring debut. And Malik has had a few matches, but definitely not enough to be the veteran in someone's debut.
The general of the match. Yeah.
It was a strange pairing. I think they did solid for what they could together. The Robbie influence is very clear in Malik's moveset, though. There was a lot of Robbie Eagles moves.
Yeah. There were just a few times I saw during the match where they kind of got out over their skis. And I mean by, like, I've been thinking about doing this move. We should try it. I don't know if that happened, but it just kind of felt like happened while I was watching the match.
Yeah, it even like because there was no three ways on this.
No,
like, we could have chucked in one of the more veteran PWA talents that was, even if they were in the show later in the night, just have them.
Well, they were because I think like some others did double duty. I think Third Eye did double duty. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so like we could have had. If you put like a Sam Osborne or something in here, I think that would have helped this match a lot.
Yeah. Like it wasn't a terrible match. It wasn't like one of the worst matches I've seen like going around. It was just there were things that they tried where they possibly shouldn't have tried.
Yeah.
And I don't know who agented the match or if they had an agent, but there was some things I would have said, maybe not, maybe don't do that, boys.
Yeah.
Maybe work that at the academy first before we do it here.
Like, it was only about 5 or 6 minutes, but it felt longer than that, which is not ideal for someone's debut. You want it to leave them wanting more.
No. And again, like, Malik worked the crowd really well. Like, when we said at the top that a lot of the rookies do that really well. He did that very well. It was just like a rough match, unfortunately.
Yep.
Which kind of sucks for them, but again, and another it's also another thing that I said earlier. I don't know why everyone seems to have to wear dark colors. Like everyone just wearing dark colors. Like brighten it up, guys. You're on a freaking show here.
And it's a kid-friendly show too. Like the bright colors are going to at least get the kids on your side.
Yeah. That's why, like, I was almost surprised that like I know that they're good at being heels, but Third Eye are so colourful and that I'm surprised that they didn't get some sort of a cheer out of it, which is, I guess is credit to them that they were able to work them so they still hated them. And I guess that was set up too with the promo during the show as well to sort of set up that main event.
Yeah, the promo set it up, and I think the crowd was very heavily stacked with El Phoenician and Marley Paletti, friends and family as well. Just a little bit.
Bit of money there. But Lazarus and McCabe, I'd like to see where they are, like I said, in a year.
Yep.
6-7 months a year. See how far they've come along. And I probably would, like, and this is me telling people that already know what they're doing, so I don't know why I'm doing this, but maybe put them with other people with a bit more experience if you're doing that sort of thing. Besides that, like again, wasn't terrible.
No. Even, like if there's another Academy showcase in a month or two, even if they just did this match again, but then dropped in a Robbie or a Charlie or a Jess or just someone with a lot of experience to just be in there and guide them just that little bit, I think they could do a much better job of getting these two people over and impressing on a match.
But you know what, though? Sometimes having a match that isn't great is the best thing for you.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, at least I know the next match I had won't be that bad. Like, we've done it. We've come back from some matches going, that was a 4-finger stinker.
Yep.
What the hell are we going to... Well, we know not to do that again next time.
Yeah, and I guess, it could also be like a very humbling moment too, where you go, okay, I'm going to really listen to what people tell me. Yeah, very true, very true. Like the smart workers will take so much more from this than if they went out there and had a 5-star. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because you end up with the other problem. If they went out there and this was brilliant and everyone loved it, they're not going to listen to any advice moving forward. Like, well, clearly I know what I'm doing.
Fuck, I'm good. Sorry. Nightmare BCS has stopped bleeding for a second and has typed, I like WHS. I just wanted him to be less safe wrestler and more the guy who shows up at work to run the mandatory WHS seminar. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't mind though. Like I did like that bit, and we're going back a bit, but I did like that bit where he was trying to climb the ropes.
I didn't like when he was doing it. I liked when Ari Slater was Ari Slater? No, William Harris Sanders was trying to climb. Or was it Josh?
It would have been Josh.
Josh. When Josh was trying to climb, and he was like, no, too high. Just the second rope. That part I liked. I didn't so much like when he was climbing and taking forever to climb. But when his partner tried to climb, he was like, that's too high. Calm down.
Yeah, the only part when you're taking forever to do something is you kind of have to think about the person that's selling on the ground for you. Like, this poor dude has to pretend like he's knocked out for a year because I want to do this bit.
Yeah, do you make him look stupid by taking too long?
Yeah. Next, after that, we moved to Jack J. Bonza against a debuting Foles Robinson. Foles Robinson is also the son of one of
second generation star.
Yeah, second generation star of JT Robinson. Set up really well by Bonza at the start here with that promo, working the kids so well. Like, he was always going to help Robinson get a good leg up here just by having that ranger. I'm sorry that I said that word. The R word gimmick. That's why we need Lachlan here, because he can say it.
Yeah, we need the token.
We need the token. This sounds so bad. He did a really good job just with that promo setting it up. And it was so funny because you hear when Bonza starts getting angry, and in my head I'm like, he's about 2 seconds away from dropping an F-bomb or a C-bomb. Just
classic
Bonza. I've seen him do promos before, and every now and then he'll just, without thinking, just drop it, and you're like, please don't do that here. But again, so smart that he doesn't do that. Set him up perfectly. What did you think of the match, Jamie?
I was a big fan of this because of Bonza set it up, like you said. Bonza set it up well, and then Foles played his part too. He wasn't atrocious. He was really, really good, and I loved that as a second generation star, he lent into it. His gear was very clearly Future Shock inspired. He did the hip swivel, which I popped big for the hip swivel. Which I felt super stupid doing it, but I was like, I love that. I'm so glad you did that. And then it was just a Bonza beatdown for the vast majority of it. So then when there was the comeback at the end, I thought, oh crap, is Foles going to get this and get this big moment on debut, and then that sets him up for future stuff, but they cut it off, and I just saw a really, really good debut.
Yeah, I know where you're going for that, but like, I think if they were going to do that, then he would have to be more ready.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be more ready to follow that up. Yeah, you have to be more ready to follow that up if you're going to do something like having beat Bonza on his debut.
Yep.
So, Alex Farhart said, if the gear and the name hadn't clued me in, his face definitely would have. That this guy is related to JT. You could immediately tell. So, I don't know if that's a compliment to him or an insult to... A compliment to JT and an insult to Foles. Alex also says, on the flip side, you could have fooled me that this was Foles Robinson's first match. Carried himself well for a debut. Like, still look green, but not first match green. Yeah, that's 100% right. But that's a good thing about, like, when you've got someone who's a smart worker like Bonza, Bonza's not going to give him so much shine that he exposes himself.
Yep.
So it's like, you just bump, kid. The pops you're going to get are going to come out of you bumping and like selling and taking the heat. Mm-hmm. So when your comeback is whatever it is, as little as it is, they're going to love that because they've been wanting you to hit me for the last 10 minutes.
And the moments where he did like show the fight and the heart to keep going when Bonza is just dominating you throughout was perfect. That's what got the crowd so far on his side after Bonza had run them down. That they was then when Foles came out and proved that he could hang, they were like, okay, yeah, this is our guy.
Yeah. Now I don't want to jinx things, but
he's alive.
He's alive.
He's alive.
He lives.
He's alive. The genes are ruined, but other than that,
it's looking much paler.
That could be taken so many different ways.
I hope you guys said it out loud for anyone listening to the podcast. I had the most wild random nosebleed and was just covered in blood.
I'm going to go back and clip that because that was just wow. It was like somebody punched you, like an invisible person punched you.
It was crazy stuff. It was and it was so vibrantly red, much like Jack J. Bonza's hair. Hey,
he can. Yeah,
I think. Apparently, I really liked Bonza and Foles. Like, you could tell that this was Bonza generaling to get Foles that experience. Alex Firehart says, also, can we please keep Foles Robinson as far away from hair versus hair matches as possible? That guy has got a mane on him. Very impressive.
I would say, please tie it back. Tie it back or wet it down or do something so you're not constantly... Possibly my only criticism of the match. It's possibly my only criticism of that match, I think.
Yeah, like, I think they did a really good job of showing Foles as a fiery young babyface, Bonza being the heel. Wild Angel says, Lockie was gone when I turned up and I heard ruined jeans, thought you'd joined the Spilled Coke Club. Nox Opal in chat
I'm never
saying,
live that down, am I?
Nope.
Oh, man.
Thank God.
It's always when someone's away, too.
Yeah. Thank God, though, I have everything elevated on here, so when I did spill it, nothing really got damaged.
Oh, man. Thanks.
Who's going to have the incident next week?
Yeah, that's the question. I tell you who it might be. It might be Manor and Manouche, El Phoenician and Marley Paletti, who faced Third Eye, Ty Thayer and Xander Sullivan in the main event. I really liked Ty Thayer's balaclava as a little just accent to his character as part of Third Eye. I thought that was great stuff. Don't know if we covered it, but earlier in the show, after the Skater Boy Pidgey match, Third Eye came out and cut a bit of a promo talking smack about the heroes of PWA, also claiming that they were the ones who turned the sound off because they didn't want the crowd to get brainwashed. And Mana and Manouche came out and, chased them off and said that they were the heroes. And Mana and Manouche managing to get the win here over Third Eye. Obviously, and Todd and I are very attached to Xander Sullivan. He's a guy who has done a lot of great work up here in Queensland, who we feel very, very proud of, I'll say, with the work he's doing down there in PWA. And I think Taifei is a great partner for him. Those guys have been doing excellent work. You can see why these four were the main event of this show, right? They're guys who haven't started, dominating the main cards of PWA, but they're consistently on there. El Phoenician, Marley Paletti, getting those spots in tag team matches typically. Third Eye being part of the trios premiership that they've got going on. So it makes sense to have these guys main event, and you could tell very clearly that they have been on the big stages before, that they know what it's like to work in front of the crowds like this. And I think that it was really cool to see El Phoenician and Marley Paletti get a huge response as the baby faces here. Ranger Mitch says the fun thing about Taifei is I've never seen him wrestle in person, but I see his tweets all the time. Fantastic tweeter. TT, we love his work. And Alex Fireheart saying the segment threw me off at first, then the main event happened, and I went, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Given the match isn't listed in the description, I was a little confused. I felt the same, Alex. I was like, oh, they were just there for a segment, and immediately I just moved the mouse over to the end. I'm like, they're the main event, right? And yes, they were the main event. So that made a lot more sense. I do wish that they had mentioned that in the promo, though I get it was very fiery. I don't know how you slip in, we'll see you in the main event. But
yeah, that's where commentary would have helped.
We talked about this when you were off first dating yourself. This was one of those shows where like commentary really would have helped the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Commentary is one of those things where you often don't notice how important it is until it's not there. Right? Yeah. Jamie, what did you think?
It's fine when you're there live, but it's a different animal when you're watching it on like YouTube or TV.
Absolutely. Jamie, what did you think of Mana and Manouche versus Third Eye?
I love this. This match was fantastic. The segment was fantastic earlier in the show. I see big things for Marley Paletti. He just has everything you could want in someone. He's like Ricky Starks, The Rock, like Grace. There's a bit of Grayson Waller in there as well. Like
he reminded me like of Aaron Jake as well.
Yep.
Yeah, very much.
I'm just big fan of his, and even his like presentation with like his gear and stuff. I was getting kind of AR Fox from him as well. Like I could totally see Marley and El Phoenician going on and being like the rivalry for the next generation in PWA, with them splitting and have Marley as the big baby face, kind of rock face of the company type thing, and El Phoenician go the cocky, arrogant heel character who's just like constantly under his skin. And Third Eye, they were always brilliant. They have their characters to a T. They never come out there and you're like, well, that didn't really fit with what they've presented in the past. Everything fit perfectly.
Yeah. Alex Fireheart in the chat saying, as much as I would have been fine with Foles versus Bonza as the main, there's definitely a reason this main evented over that.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you do an Academy show, you do the guys that are really either just making the main cards or like fairly established now on the main cards, but not main names, if that makes sense. You give them experience doing a main event.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. I still hate El Phoenician's name. I expect him to be every time I expect him to be wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like a luchador's name.
I will say that this match is by far the most I have gotten El Phoenician as a worker. Like when I've seen him before, he's kind of been there. This is by far the time I've seen him and been the most, oh, this is a guy who's worth having an eye on.
Yeah. They worked the psychology really well. I think they just, and I was thinking about this the other day because what was I watching? I was watching like an old Coliseum video, like thing that's on YouTube now through like the Vault, and it was one of those classic. I think it was like Nasty Boys versus Money Inc. And they were doing the whole cutting the ring off, having the guy running in and the referee cutting that guy that was running in off so they could keep double teaming in that. And then partway through the match, like Money just grabbed their belts and started walking off, and the referee's just like, if you don't return to the ring, not only will you be counted out, but you'll lose the titles, meaning they had to come back in to finish the match sort of thing. That was kind of the psychology I liked about this. It was very old school tag psychology, which I don't know why more people still don't do it, because it works every time.
Especially with sort of two younger, less experienced teams, I guess. It's simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But even with the massive, like, huge, like, you do a Natural Classics, like, physicals, say, at MCW coming up. If they did a match like that, it would work like a dream. Because it just works. The psychology of that just works. Nothing makes a crowd more frustrated than knowing that guy wants to help his friend, but is like getting blocked by the referee because he's technically doing something illegal. Meanwhile, the guys behind their back are beating the shit out of the babyface illegally and getting away with it. It's classic.
It's simple for the crowd to understand the story too.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I sometimes think that we as an industry overthink ourselves.
Like, there's a reason that wrestling has been as consistent as it has been for so long. It's because the things that have been going on for decades work. They get a response. It's the same reason that, you know, like when you see action movies, they tend to follow a similar structure because it works. It gets a response from the audience. There's a reason that tag team matches have looked the way they've looked for 50 years.
That's not to say that you can do those other styles. I'm just saying, I've always found that this style works 99% of the time. So I don't know why you just don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, at the end of the day, considering that this was a show made up of people who are, you know, learning to work in front of a crowd, learning to wrestle in front of people, I think that so much of this was really incredible. And you're seeing a bunch of people on this card who are definitely going to be making big waves on those main PWA shows in the near future, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Like, there are a couple of guys, like I said, Pidgey, potential up the wazoo. Like, there's a few little things you need to tweak, and it's nothing to do with the funniest thing is, the tweaking has got nothing to do with his in-ring work.
Yep.
It's all character and presentation based. Like, nothing to do with their in-ring.
Yeah.
Like that. And Melissa Avarello, and we talked about it, you were off. I think she's ready now. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think she's ready now to really debut on a main card and like stand out, because she's still green, but she's not green enough that you couldn't put her with someone that knows what they're doing and they have a really good match.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely money.
Especially when you look at the women's division in PWA, if you put her in there with Charlie or Jess, or like we said, Lena when she comes back, it's going to be great.
Yeah. And you can so clearly see the influence of Madison Eagles on her. Like, the way she moves, the way she wrestles is so clearly Madison Eagles inspired. And that's what you get with the PWA Academy, right? You've got trainers with such a great knowledge base, such world-class wrestling, and then trainees who have this awesome charisma, this awesome ability to learn and, you know, take that on. And when it's PWA Live at the Mounties 9 Finals Fever, which is coming up on October 4th, you're going to see that in action with a PWA trainer like Robbie Eagles, who's going to be tagging with his Ichiban Sweet Boys partner Kosei Fujita, up against some guys like, maybe the Tuck Man, who's learning from that experience, who's got that charisma as the young up-and-comer with that solo PWA title now. You know, you can see the ways that PWA Academy is so finely tuned and comes out with such great talent. And a show like PWA Live at the Beer Shed, the Pro Wrestling Academy showcase that we just talked about, which is free on YouTube, is clearly part of that pathway. Todd, do you have any other thoughts on this Live at the Beer Shed show?
No, not really. I thought it was a great show for these guys to get their experiences. Like
Absolutely.
that's something that like Foles will always remember. His first match was against Jack Bonza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though he's probably been around him for years and all of that stuff, it's still really cool that he got to have his first match against Bonza.
Oh, absolutely. Jamie,
And
what did you
it's a first match that he's not going to look back at and be like, I kind of hate that match. Because it was pretty solid.
Yeah, but you know what? He still will.
He probably will still hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have never heard a wrestler happy with their matches.
I have, but I didn't really rate the rest of the dinner. But I was like, man, are you happy with that?
Yeah, that sounds like Todd. Jamie, do you have any other overall thoughts on PWA Live at the Beer Shed for the Pro Wrestling Academy showcase?
Yeah, not too much. Just go into it aware that there is no commentary, so that can make it tough.
Yes. And don't go into it thinking you're going to see a Black Label show, because this is the future of PWA. You are seeing guys that before they get to make it to a Coliseum, or before they get to make it to a, you know what I mean? What's the other one? The
Premiership,
the Rumble show, yeah, the Premiership, or
the King of the Metro.
Thank you. Before you get to see him in the King of the Metro, you're going to see him here, and you're going to see you'll get to see, and we talk about this all the time. You get to see the maturation of these people over time. Like we got to see like the maturation of someone like a Wahlberg. Like if Wahlberg had debuted now,
he debuted on a show like this.
Yes.
I was there. It was awesome. To look back on it and be like, I saw their first match. So like, if Foles goes on or Melissa Avarillo goes on and does incredible things like we think they potentially could, if you watch this show, you're like, I saw some of their earlier stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Alex Fireheart just quickly with a hang on, is this Bonza shtick leading to a Soul of PWA title run eventually? Because that would be leaning into it, making him...
No, you can't win something you don't have.
Well, that's the thing. He's going to say that he needs to have a soul.
Well,
and that's...
He's not allowed to be in contention for it.
He will say that he's proving that he does have a soul by winning that title.
Not qualified.
But there's already a redhead.
He's replacing his soul.
Yeah.
He can't steal the soul from a soulless person.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Ranger Mitch says, always good to get along to Academy shows, whether it's RCW, PWA, or whatever. Great to see the development from the beginning. Absolutely. So this PWA Live at the Beer Shed Pro Wrestling Academy showcase is worth checking out, as is the next thing that PWA is going to be doing. We mentioned Live at the Mounties 9, Finals Fever, October 4th. It's got the Dropouts versus Ichiban Sweet Boys, which is a huge matchup. Todd, what can people do to get to that show?
Well, I mean, you can go to the Mounties and get your tickets to go and see it. Or,
that's
we've got to work out. Yeah, we've got to work out something though. Like, how are we going to do this? Because luckily, we have been graced by PWA with a double to go and see this show. So if you're in Sydney, I guess, or if you're in New South Wales and you can get to the show, how do you reckon we do this? Because we've already got the MCW one, which is going to be which is set to the YouTube channel. How do we do this one for the Sydney boys? What do you reckon here?
So I think... Sorry, Jamie.
You go ahead, Lachlan.
I was going to say, we've got our social medias. We're at Wrestle Radio AU on X. If somebody, wants to go onto X and they want to tweet at us and say, what is a matchup that you would be excited to see in the future of PWA? Is it a couple of people that are already near the top? Are you wanting to see maybe Jess Troy get a rematch for that title from Charlie Evans? Is it a new up-and-comer that you want to see? Maybe you want to see someone like... let's take Foles Robinson. Are you looking forward to seeing Foles Robinson versus Robbie Eagles? What is the match in PWA's future that you are excited for on X at Wrestle Radio AU? We'll be gathering those tweets over the next, the next week? Give everybody 7 days.
Anything longer than that, they're going to miss the show.
That's right. So we will say midnight on Wednesday, the 1st of October is the deadline for that. Any tweets that you send out before that will put you in the running for a double pass to PWA Live at the Mounties 9 Finals Fever on October 4th, which we are so thankful for PWA for providing us that double pass to give away. That is absolutely awesome from our friends there.
Please be in Sydney so you can go to the actual show.
Yeah. And I would just say in those tweets, tag Wrestle Radio Australia and PWA.
Yes. Wrestle Radio AU and I believe it's PW Australia is Pro Wrestling Australia's X handle. So tag at Wrestle Radio AU at PW Australia and tell us the matchup that you would like to see in the future of PWA if you are in Sydney and can attend Mounties on October 4th. So thank you again for PWA. And check out that show, that Beer Shed show, which was an awesome lot of fun. But look, wrestling in Australia is stacked right now, and it's not even the only tickets we're giving away, right? MCW has Clash of the Titans on October 14th at the Melbourne Pavilion with a card that is just getting more and more stacked by the minute. To run through what's in that, you've got a 6-man scramble with Matt Hayter, Ant Kava, MJ Russo, Lucas Fantasia, Ryan Rapid, and Jahari. You've got a winner becomes number 1 contenders for the MCW Tag Championships match with the Natural Classics versus the Physicals. We talked about that.
Are you happy that how I wrote it this time, Jamie?
Nailed it this week. Well done. Both
much better, Todd. Much better.
We've got a next week. I'm going to mix every word up. Just
a dress rehearsal with the MCW Women's Champion and the MCW Women's number 1 contender before their big title match. Shay Cassidy is going to take on Erica Reed. There's also a contract signing for the match between the Tuckman and the Clydesdale. There's going to be one-on-one Adam Brooks and Ricky South. And then in the main event, the team of Jarvis and Caveman Ugg will be taking on the team of Robbie Thorpe and Lucky O'Leary. That is such a killer lineup, and you can get your tickets at mcwtix.com.au. That's mcwtix.com.au. Or there's another way to get a hold of that. It's you can head on over to our YouTube channel, Wrestle Radio Australia on YouTube, get into the comments of this stream or our show from last week and tell us who is a wrestler in MCW that is exciting you at the moment. Tell us, is it somebody like Adam Brooks who's a champ? Is it somebody up and coming like a Jahari or something? Who are you excited about in MCW at the moment and why? Every comment on this video and the previous one telling us who's someone in MCW that you're excited for puts you in the running to get that double pass to MCW Clash of the Titans on October 14th at the Melbourne Pavilion. If you do win, by the way, you're obligated to say hi to me because I'm going to be there. Jeff's going to be there also, so you'll have to come along and say hi. But again, a huge thank you to MCW for giving us the opportunity to give away tickets to that absolute belter of a show that's coming up on October 14th. And not the only belter of a show that week either in Australian wrestling, right? EPW on October 12th has This Is Our House at Willerton Stadium. And just when you think that show can't get any bigger, they announce some of the nonsense that they're announcing out here. Right? We've got tag team action with Jesse Lambert and the Dropouts taking on Will Keatis and the Purveyors of Work Rate in 6-man action. We've got Rita Stone versus Jess Troy versus Shay Cassidy in a triple threat match. You've got the Coastal title on the line with Rogan Kargas defending against Matt Hayter. You've got a 6-man tag.
Sorry.
Not yet. You've got a 6-man so much. A 6-man tag match with the TMBK team of Slater, Pitt, and Broderick. That is the EPW number 1 contender.
You've gone on order again, brother. You know, I did.
No. Am I better?
Yes, you are better.
Okay, so Slater, Pitt, and Broderick. That's the number 1 contender for the EPW Championship and 2 of the semi-finalists in the EPW Invitational. And on the other side of that 6-man tag match is Hartness, Fantasia, and Blackwell. That's the EPW Heavyweight Champion and the other 2 semi-finalists in the Invitational. On top of that, you've got a tag team match with ATO taking on OG TMDK. That's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste in what's going to be huge. We've got a main event of Davis Storm's last match against an all-time opponent for him, the Don Michael Morleone. That's going to be an absolute tearjerker. And announced only about an hour ago as we speak is an Inter-Commonwealth Championship 4-way match with Adam Brooks taking on Hayden Zenith and Tommy Knight and Robbie Thorpe. What a monstrous match that one is. The amount of talent in that is crazy. But that's not even the most stacked match on the show, because we've got a 20-person West versus the Rest Rumble to talk about. Announced so far for this enormous Rumble are Edward Dusk, Tarly, The Great George, Craven, Dean Brady, Robbie Hart, Kai Drake, Stella Nix, Trent O'Day, The Velocities, The Pulse, Eugenie, Dustin Connors, Chris Target, Gavin McGavin, Faisal Ali. That is... What is that, like 18 competitors announced so far for that West versus the Rest Rumble? And it is a beyond stacked lineup.
Yes, it is. Sorry, my computer's decided to be real fun with me all the time.
Oh, delightful. Well, that's a perfect time for it, because, like, I believe there's 2 entrants left to be announced for that 20-person Rumble match, and we are able to announce them right here on Wrestle Radio Australia.
Yes, we were lucky enough, and again... Huge thank you to EPW for letting us do this. It's a massive thing for them to allow us to not only just announce some of the competitors, but to be able to announce the last 2 competitors for this thing is pretty freaking cool, I think. So massive thank you to all the folks over at EPW for allowing us to do this. And again, something that we've been wanting to do. We wanted to do stuff like this for ages. So massive thank you to EPW.
Just before you announce anything, Todd, so that everybody knows, before every show, you get me and Jamie and Jeff trying to probe Todd and find out who the announcents are. Because genuinely, they're being kept under wraps.
I think Jeff wanted to punch you in the nose this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. That's why, like, it was so funny because, like, in our chat, Jeff's like, oh, so who are the last 2 competitors? I'm like, you're just going to have to watch like everyone else, mate. And he's like, Todd, I won't be able to watch it live. And I just ghosted him. And so I ghosted him so much so that I sent Jamie a message going, 100% not going to tell him.
Yep, that's right. So, all right, but we shouldn't draw it out anymore, Todd. We've got 2 entrants into this Rumble to announce.
Okay, so once again, massive thank you to EPW for letting us do this. And this is the first of the last 2 entrants here for the West versus the Rest 20-person Rumble.
There it is, Mr. Juicy himself, Gino Gambino, announced for the West versus the Rest 20-person Rumble at EPW This Is Our House at Willetton Stadium. That is a huge get.
Yes, massive, like a big name. Oh, he froze him. It was that big. Massive name to have. And what name do you follow that up with for the last competitor announced here for the West versus the Rest 20-person Rumble? Here it is.
You want to talk big names? They do not get much bigger than Caveman Ugg, announced to be representing the Rest in the 20-person West versus the Rest Rumble at EPW This Is Our House at Willetton Stadium. Damn!
I'd love to put the graphic up, but my thing is frozen, so I cannot scroll up and down for the graphics. So
good stuff. Those are enormous. Here we go. Here's our Caveman Ugg announcement for EPW This Is Our House at Willetton Stadium on Sunday, October 12th. Ugg is a huge name, as is Mr. Juicy, Gino Gambino. What a couple of massive announcements to close out. I thought that this match was huge already. Gino and Ugg added to that 20-person Rumble. My goodness.
Yeah, it's just, again, like, at the moment, Caveman Ugg is the MCW World Champion. Like, you can't think of anyone really as established a name in Australian wrestling as Gino Gambino. And 100%, I 100% think Gino's just said, look, I want to go over to Perth because I want to be there for Davis's last match. So do you have anything that I could possibly do? It would not surprise me if that's what's happened with that, because, yeah, that is an absolutely, like, chock-a-block Rumble match. Like, that's up there with Ballroom Brawls. That's up there with... Do you know what I mean? That's up there with the match.
Yeah, that's the King of the Metro. That's like every Rumble in the country.
It might be the most stacked Rumble I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. And in that, there's so many little stories from across the country, like Caveman Ugg, like you just said, MCW champion, Edward Dusk in the Rumble, somebody who's been chasing that MCW championship.
Wrestle Rampage Australian champion.
Yeah, like there's so much going on there. It's absolutely wild. Nathan Hamlin is absolutely right. Flat out, no wasted spots. We didn't get to talk about it, but Eugenie getting announced for that Rumble, like what a great impact for her to make over there. And not the only woman in it either. You know, you've got Stella Nix in that Rumble as well. There's so many big names that I'm excited to see how they interact. That's going to be an absolute hell of a show, right? Yeah. Like
I said it on my Dynamite watch along today. I was like, if you're going to Perth for WWE and you miss this show, you're an idiot.
This show, this is our house for EPW, is more exciting to me than WWE. If I was able to get over to Perth to see one of the shows, it would be This Is Our House, and it's not even a question.
This would be my first ticket purchase.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
yeah,
unquestionably. Which is a wild thing to say considering how rarely WWE shows up, and they're doing champion versus champion and John Cena's last appearance in Australia. And yeah, but this is bigger. And Alex Fireheart says, to be honest, if I was going to Perth, it'd be purely for the EPW show. Like, that's how good that EPW show is. But it's not the only big show.
If that show was on any other weekend, it's almost worth just going to Perth for that.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. I have investigated booking a ticket from Melbourne to Perth back to Melbourne. It's unfortunately not going to be possible, but it's
unless you win the lotto tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Not the only big show coming up. Renegades of Wrestling has We Choose Violence coming up this Friday, September 26th. That's tomorrow night as we are live. If you're listening to this recorded, that might be tonight if you're a quick listener. That's got a card with an Air Force 3 match of Will Walker, Ryan Rapid, and Jarvis. It's got falls count anywhere between Caveman Ugg and Tyson Reed. It's got Ari Nicole taking on Rochelle Rogue. It's got a strap match where Sam Yanis and Hector Jones are going to go at it. It's got a 3 stages of Olympic spirit match with JXT versus Jake Andrew Arthur, OLY. It's also got a Renegades tag team title no disqualification match with the Bastard Brothers defending against Heaven and Hell. It's got a no DQ tag match with Starlux versus Sinful Fortune. And in the main event, the Renegades World Championship is going to be on the line with Lockie Hendricks defending against Ant Cava. What a card for something that's happening tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also,
Ranger Mitch also mentions, dude, where's my ring? Right? Like, there's so much
on
coming
before
up.
Crown Jewel, I believe. Like in the morning or something? I can't remember.
It's insane. Look, let's run through specifically. So in Victoria, Renegades of Wrestling's We Choose Violence is on tomorrow night, Friday, September 26th, as is PCW's Next Gen, Friday, September 26th. We can investigate when Dude, Where's My Ring is on, because MXW is on Sunday, MXW Pro Wrestling, Horsham Agricultural Show. On Sunday, September 26th.
Microphone again, mate.
In the ACT Slam Pro Wrestling League.
That didn't help.
Still no good.
Where did you go? In the ACT Slam Pro Wrestling League at the UC Refractory is on Saturday, September 27th. In New South Wales, Australian Wrestling Superstars Rookie of the Year Night 2 and main show Friday the 26th and 27th of September. Newey Pro has Fight Forever on Saturday the 27th. And Wrestling Go has the Roast of Tommy Trigger on Sunday, September the 28th. Northern Territory have Top End Wrestling Territory Showdown on Saturday the 27th. We already did Victoria. And Queensland Wrestling Alliance Rockhampton War has The Last Stand on Saturday, September 27th. And I will be at United Pro Wrestling Entertainment's Undisputed Glory 8th on Saturday the 27th as EC Diamond steps in the ring with my boy One Shot Rider. Not the main event, but could main event any show in Queensland without a heartbeat. It's a match I'm really, really looking forward to. The main event is 13 against Jesse Love for the UPW Championship. That is going to be really good.
Okay, that's fair.
You got Axe Massacre and Tali for the UPW Women's Championship. Like, stacked card. It is they call it their biggest event of the year. It's their Mania, basically.
Todd, I've actually heard a rumor that might not be the main event because Sanctum, the tag team champions, are defending against Good Boys Inc. And I know that is also a massive match there in UPW. So there's a chance that might take the top spot in the card as well. We'll have to keep an eye out because that is going to be a hell of a show.
I don't care. As long as I'm on before intermission and we can go get some food, I'm fine. Like,
they got big pretzels there?
If you're not main event, put me on before Inter so I can go and get some food.
That's the way. Well, speaking of getting some food and a drink, we are going to take a very quick break before we come back to talk about what's going on around the world of wrestling. Right after this.
Sorry, mate. Before you do that, can you please hit the ad because I'm going to have to refresh. And
yeah, I can do that.
I'm afraid if I refresh, it won't work.
Well, let me do this. Is it this 6-minute one? Let's try it here. We'll be back.
Yeah, it is.
Right after this.
Attention, trading card collectors! Are you ready to take your collection to the next level? Dive into the action with the limited edition Australian Wrestling Card, showcasing the most electrifying talent Australia has to offer. Imagine owning cards featuring legends such as Robbie Eagles, Shazza McKenzie, Shane Hayes, Madison Eagles, and many, many more. But that's not all. You'll also snag cards of the iconic referees, commentators, and announcers, just like me, Lord Andy Coyne, to truly capture the spirit of Australian independent wrestling. And as our homegrown talent continues to dominate the world stage, OzRest cards are destined to become hot commodities. Not only will you be owning a valuable piece of wrestling history, but you'll also be supporting the amazing wrestlers and talented photographers behind the magic. So don't wait. Grab your Australian wrestling cards now at pariomagazine.com.au/OzRes cards. Order today and kickstart your collection with a bang.
There you go. MCW in the house, providing a double pass to MCW Clash of the Titans. Todd, how can Wrestle Radio Australia listeners manage to win a free double pass to MCW Clash of the Titans?
What did we agree on? We agreed on...
So, what we want you to do...
Like, subscribe, and
please.
Comment.
Head on over to the Wrestle Radio Australia YouTube channel. That's the easiest place to track. Give this video a like, give us a subscribe, and then comment a wrestler who you love from MCW at the moment. We want to hear someone in MCW who is really filling your cup in terms of pro wrestling right now. And if you do those three things, like, subscribe, comment with a wrestler that you're loving, we've got a double pass to Clash of the Titans to give away. Yeah. That's so exciting.
You'll have this week or next week to do it, and we'll announce it on October the 9th.
So get in before October the 9th. I mean, just get in now. Do it now so you don't have to think about it. But on the October 9th...
on both episodes.
Yeah, I mean...
Double your chances.
Double your chances. Why not?
There you go.
So make sure you get that done so that we can announce a winner and give away that double pass on the 9th of October.
I've beaten every iteration of David Storm, so this is our house. You better breathe. That's quite the appropriate name, Don. This is our house. Because there is something that you have lost in all of this. Yes, for 24 years, I have busted my ass in this ring, trying to take this place to the next level, but you look at me as a failure because my names weren't in the bright lights like Chris Weiss, like Hartley Jackson, like Mikey Nichols, like Shane Hayes. You think I envy them? I do not. They have achieved things that I could not, but I have achieved things that they could not. I have stayed here in the trenches. I have given my life to making Perth wrestling mean something, to give you the platform to mean something. And I have made mistakes, and I have cut people down in this ring, and I have been a despicable piece of shit, Don. But let me tell you, I have tried to erase that by doing the best I can for the next generation of humans coming after me. from November 4th, 2001 until the 12th of October 2025. The blood in my veins bleeds blue. These 3 letters are my life, and you, in my final match in EPW, will have to kill me.
Hey Melbourne,
WrestleBrania.
is back again in 2025.
WrestleBrania.
WrestleBrania.
For Sunday Slam.
WrestleBrania.
At the Bergie Band Room, 4 epic Sundays over 4 months.
WrestleBrania.
Let's get ready to Brania! Starting at 7:30 p.m, August 31st, September 28th, October 26th, November 23rd. Tickets $28.05, including booking fee through OzTix.
WrestleBrania.
A home of
Sports entertainment.
Every show will be different with new games, new guests, and maybe even a new host. Nothing is sacred, no one is safe, but it will be a fun and entertaining show. Or will it? Yes, it will. WrestleBrania Sunday Slam.
Hey everybody, it's Radar Superstar Adam Copeland. I got a bunch of handles. Anyway, call me what you want, but you are listening to WRA, Wrestle Radio Australia.
Welcome back to your longest running Australian pro wrestling podcast, Wrestle Radio Australia and Making Chicken Salad, where we are going to issue just a quick update for the ad you saw just there for WrestleBrania. Unfortunately, this Sunday's iteration of WrestleBrania on September 28th has been cancelled. It's always horrible to see that happen. Unfortunately, there's been a major injury amongst the cast, so that show's not going to be able to go ahead.
Yeah.
It's always horrible.
Unfortunately, Welshie decided he was going to try and be an athlete, and I believe he was at mixed netball, and jumped for something and tore his Achilles tendon.
Ugh. I was hoping it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so the poor lad is not in the best way. So best wishes go out to Welshie, and I understand it's hard. Like when you can't walk, you do not want to be a show where you can't just walk away from Jeff. So it's always best to just cancel and.
Man.
No, so unfortunately, the show on the 27th has been cancelled. But please go and support the guys because they're a part of our family. Turnbuckle's also a part of our family as well. So go and support those guys. Yeah. So shit news for them. And Welshie, I hope you get better soon, mate.
Yeah, best wishes out that way. Turning our attention back to the world of wrestling and not just sports entertainment. WWE WrestlePalooza happened this past Saturday, September 20th. And we can run through the card now. It opened with Brock Lesnar beating John Cena. We had Stephanie Vaquer become the new Women's World Champion by defeating Io Sky. The WWE Champion Cody Rhodes managed to defeat Drew McIntyre. The Vision, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed defeated the Usos. And CM Punk and AJ Lee defeated Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I'll start with Todd. What do you think of Lesnar beating Cena?
It was a shock. Do you know what? Like, as you were reading this off, I was just thinking in my head because we talked about it last week. Do you know what this show didn't have? Run-ins.
No, that's a good point. These matches all just happened.
Because I don't know if you
That's unusual for them.
About it. Yeah, well, when we talked about it, I 100% thought that Asuka was going to somehow get involved in that Io Sky match. But and especially like the Vision with Punk and like all of them, nothing, no interference at all. But going back to your question, very interesting considering there is no rematch planned between the two. So it's just like Cena's just putting over Lesnar one last time, I guess. Really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Lesnar need the Cena rub during the Cena retirement tour?
It depends on who they plan on having Brock lose to. Because there has to be an ultimate plan of him losing to somebody. Otherwise, he wouldn't do it.
But then why not just have
what you're
John
saying.
Cena lose to that person?
Because John Cena's only got 2 days left. And if you're thinking forward to WrestleMania 42...
Okay, so you have somebody beat Lesnar on the big stage, but at the same time, like, just... Does it have to be...
I'm not, by the way, I'm not endorsing this, by the way. I'm just saying that this is the thinking.
I understand. It pains me. And I don't think the match was good. I don't think it served either man.
No,
I don't see who this helps.
Getting killed.
Yeah, nah, ridiculous. On the other hand, you want to talk about younger talent being made to look great. Stephanie Vaquer being the new women's world champion is fantastic stuff. I thought they might have gone with Io, but the fact that they have gone with Stephanie, you know, they are making sure that that women's roster is wide with talent, right? Like we're going to talk about, as you mentioned, stuff going down with Io and Asuka. Like they are having things go on in that women's division where you've got young champions who are holding the titles, and then you've got strong, you know, main event level women's talent elsewhere holding their own storylines. And I think that that's fantastic, and I'm really happy with Stephanie Vaquer being the women's world champ. Jamie, do you agree that that's a good call?
Yeah, I'm glad they did it. I think if they hadn't, they would have risked the crowd turning on Io. Mm-hmm. Or when Cody lost the first time at Mania and everyone goes, oh, you missed it.
Yeah.
Like, don't miss the moment. Really? And maybe, like, with Todd bringing up there was no run-ins, I wonder if that was like on ESPN, it's a very sports-centric audience, potentially. Let's, like, maybe lean a little bit less away from the entertainment, more the sports side.
Maybe.
I like.
Go on.
I like what Macho Man Andy Savage has said in the chat, saying Vaquer's basic English makes her such an incredibly earnest babyface because she's obviously lovely and can't fake anything else in a fledgling second language. I do think that that is part of her character, is whenever she speaks, you feel like you're getting this pure, lovely person. And Alex Fireheart also says, yeah, at this point, they just kind of had to put the title on someone new. Putting it on Io again would have been a bit seen it before, good as Io is. Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah. And then, you know, there's so much to build on.
I said that too last week. I was like, Io's already got like a storyline set. They already set in, like, you could see where it was going. It wasn't set in stone, but it was already set in stone what they were going to do with her and, like, the Kabuki Warriors. Like, you knew that's
what you're referring to there is Asuka and Kairi Sane turning on Io Sky on Raw this week after a tag match where Asuka got the missed out and misted Rhea into oblivion. So it looks like we could potentially be getting, you know, something along the lines of Io and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors, with the interesting wrinkle that it seems like Asuka is much more into this turn on Io than Kairi is.
Mm-hmm. But they also set the table with earlier on in that night when Io was just like, go and talk, can you talk to Asuka? And Kairi was just like, she's the reason why we're here. We have to listen to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good stuff.
Yeah, because you can tell how pained Kairi is to do anything to her.
Yep.
But she eventually's like, I have to do what she tells me.
Yeah,
and eventually that's gonna stop.
That's really good stuff.
Yeah, eventually she's going to ask her to do something she can't get on board with.
Yeah.
And then that leads to that feud. Then, there's so much good stuff going on there. In more kind of like general WWE news, we've got the first inductee for the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame, as Undertaker showed up at WrestlePalooza to announce Stephanie McMahon will be the first inductee for 2026. Considering they did exactly the same thing for Triple H last year, I guess not a huge surprise.
It looked like I've got a huge surprise to Stephanie.
Yeah, I really loved that moment. I thought that was really good. Did you? I don't know if have you seen the footage backstage when she walks backstage?
No, I haven't.
She walks backstage and Hunter's like this, going, "I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry."
Oh man, yeah, that's good. I mean, like Steph was always going to be a Hall of Famer, right? The fact that she has done so much behind the scenes as well as in front of the camera, I would argue that she's probably had a Hall of Fame career as a talent, regardless of all of the other things she's done. Like, she's an undoubted first ballot Hall of Famer, right? It was the same.
And it was
with
nice
Triple
that
H, you know?
it was nice that her first husband was the one that told her.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, nice to be inducted into a Hall of Fame by someone who tried to crucify you at one point. That's always good. WWE has also filed a trademark for the team name Los Americanos, presumably for the couple of British boys that we currently have under a mask as the off-brand Americanos going on here. I think this is so much fun.
I love how they did the Spider-Man spot.
Yeah, the point at each other, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
good.
that had to be done. That's so good.
Yeah, excellent stuff. We've got some big international news, but we'll come to that after taking a look at the other side of the aisle and talking about what's going on with AEW. Macho Man Andy Savage just quickly mentioning it must be such a complex relationship with Vince. I don't imagine Stephanie of the past would have agreed to the Hall of Fame before her father. Definitely an interesting situation.
I would be very surprised if there is any relationship at all at the moment between those guys. Like, because Vince had, what was it, an 80th birthday? I don't see anywhere where they went.
Everyone else did.
Yeah, I didn't see anywhere where they went. I think it's a very complicated relationship right there.
Yeah, and Ranger Mitch asking the question, how many Americanos can there be? Will there eventually be enough for a War Games team?
How many more English people do we have?
Yeah.
Or
how many foreigners are there in the company?
Yeah.
So you just need generic white guys.
Yeah. For those that don't know, the other guys under the mask at the moment is Pete Dunne and
Tyler Bate.
God, Tyler Bate. Thank you. So there's the other two on them. But when Gable comes back, there's your four.
There's your
there's four. You only need one more.
Yeah. Oh, you don't even need that. Because you've still got both the Creeds could possibly do that. Where have they been? I haven't seen them for ages either.
Yeah, but they're actually American, so you can't really
true.
Put them in that gimmick.
That's true.
That would be funny though if all of a sudden there's 6 of them. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Out of nowhere. All right, over in AEW, it's been one of the biggest shows of the year. AEW's all out. Starting with the tailgate pre-show, we had the Ops powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe defeat the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and JD Drake. Then Daniel Garcia with Marina Shafir defeated Katsuyori Shibata in a 6-man tag match. Hologram and Paragon, that's Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, defeated the Frat House, Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, and Preston Vance with Jack Jameson in an 8-man tag Tornado tailgate brawl match. Tornado, sorry, I missed that word in there. Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale defeated Megan Bain, Penelope Ford, and the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Then on the main show in a tag team match, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage defeated FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood with Stokely. Eddie Kingston defeated Big Bill with Brian Keith. In a tables and tacks match, Mark Briscoe defeated MJF. In a 6-man tag team match, The Demand, Bishop Cowan, Ricochet, and Toleona defeated the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin. In a TBS title match, Mercedes Moné beat Riho. In an AEW Unified title / International title / Continental title 3-way match, Kazuchika Okada managed to retain over Konosuke Takeshita and Mascara Dorada. In a coffin match, John Moxley with Marina Shafir defeated Darby Allin. In an AEW Women's World title 4-way match, Chris Statlander managed to defeat Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, and Thekla to become the new AEW Women's Champion. In an AEW World Tag Team title 4-way ladder match, Bandito and Brody King defended their titles by defeating Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey, and the Don Callis family, Hedges Sarah and Josh Alexander, and the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. Then in an AEW World title match, Adam Hangman Page defeated Kyle Fletcher to retain the AEW World Championship. Only 14 matches on this show.
Yeah, it's fine. That's pretty standard.
Yeah, but only 10 of them were shown on the actual pay-per-view.
That's true. 10-match show, not too
9
bad.
of them. 9. 9.
Well, there was 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not sure that's right.
No, it's
1,
10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
There's
then
only
you counted
4
wrong
on the
than the
picture.
other one.
Yeah.
1, 2. Oh, sorry. I counted.
You've double dot pointed there. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I forgot to delete a dot.
Macho Man Andy Savage says the 6th neck bump might have been unnecessary, but my heart is still beating for Kyle 4 days later. I hoped last week that he'd leave All Out as a believable champ, leaving Grand Slam. He knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that main event was fantastic.
Yeah, like AEW now, they've lost a few. Like we talked, they lost a couple of guys now to go out to injury and for surgery and stuff like that. But now they've gained a couple more with like Cassidy coming back at Dynamite and Eddie Kingston returning and like Jack Perry. That's the one thing like we did mention. Like Jack Perry came out at the end of the ladder match on All Out and did a
Todd, would you like me
where-
to read what your dot point says in the rundown?
No. No. Look, do you know what I don't like about that thing? Like, it was cool and all that, but it would have been cooler if you just held off bringing Luchasaurus back 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we
You
did
got
the whole
nothing angle.
Yeah, they did the whole resurrection video, and he was literally on the TV running around.
Yeah. He'd been doing stuff. He was at the last pay-per-view. Like, that's what I don't know about you guys, but if I was Jack Perry, I would probably be feeling a little bit down at the moment. Like, you went all this way to try and, like, change your career and try something different and do the whole, like,
Be a singles guy.
Be a singles guy, and 2 years later, after having basically to sit out for a year, you've just come back as Jungle Boy Jack Perry again.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
I guess the one positive, like, for AEW overall is by having them back as a face team, obviously with the reaction they got, Orange Cassidy and Eddie Kingston coming back. Despite those injuries, there still is a nice balance to the face-heel dynamics of that card, because we were getting into territory with Swerve, Ospreay going away, that it was a very heel-heavy card.
Swerve, Ospreay, and Mega's out as well. Like, that's a lot of horses to lose.
Yep.
And a lot of
all faces too.
Faces. Yeah.
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 Right. The one that was a question mark for me is the new AEW Women's World Champion, Chris Statlander. I love Chris
that was
Statlander.
weird, wasn't it?
I think she's fantastic. I don't know why she is the new champion. It doesn't seem like they've got another plan for Toni Storm. It doesn't seem like they have a really strong plan for Statlander. I wonder if it's just they were trying to get out ahead of Toni Storm being stale as champ.
I kind of think Statlander's plan is Marina Shafir. Based off
Does that feel like a big title feud?
No. But Marina Shafir's been doing a lot of work at, is it Defy?
Yeah, she's the Defy champion at the moment, I think, now.
Yeah. Yeah, and cut a really good promo the other day that I saw. So, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of her work, but then I haven't really seen her work for ages. So who knows?
The thing that Alex Fireheart mentions is that Tony Khan has announced the creation of the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship. He hasn't given any details on time frame or how they're going to decide the inaugural champions. He's just said soon. I've got to guess how they're going to decide
tournament.
I think tournament. Maybe a tournament of some kind. But
Maybe
Alex
champs
Fireheart,
at full gear.
Alex Fireheart is saying Tony and Mina for the first Women's World Tag Champs, perhaps. I think that's definitely a possibility and would make sense to then take it off Tony. But I've got Jamie shaking his head.
I think you run into the issue of, oh no, just Tony's getting something else again. They kind of half teased it today. I think they bring Beth in for a proper run with Willow and have the actual Babes with Power as the team, and like Beth has that name recognition, and Willow came out cut a promo today saying like Willow wouldn't exist without seeing Beth Phoenix on TV.
So is she's
Beth
someone
I wanted. Beth Copeland.
she gets the land. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she gets the land.
It's usually what happens in couples.
So yeah, I think that's the direction they go. Have them as the inaugural champs, or you go back to Julia and Sky, or Tay Mello and
yeah. Or what's the other group? That Tekla's group?
Triangle
yeah,
of Madness.
Julia and Sky,
Okay,
the Sisters
sorry.
of Sin.
Yeah.
Sisters of Sin, yeah. Macho Man Andy Savage saying that stat thing is bizarre. I thought it was compelling giving her the belt at the start of the Death Riders story, but they kind of cut straight to the start of the end of Dynamite today. Nicolia says them putting the belt on Stat was a bit of striking while the iron's hot, where she has genuine fan interest. She's probably the only other character in the mix that gets the same level of reaction as Tony. Alex Fireheart also saying that if not, maybe Tony needs time off for nagging injuries or something, so they had to take it off her.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just with Stat, I think it would have made so much more sense if she just joined the Death Riders. Like, had them come out and help her to get the title, because they'd been teasing that they've been helping her. They've been doing all this. She's been using the seatbelt as the pin. And it's like,
yeah. Well, she used it to win the title.
Yeah, they've been teasing that she's avoiding going with them, but if that's the thing that gets you over the line, maybe you just join them to get the title and then you can turn on them later.
Yeah, possible.
It felt like I really don't like when world titles, women's or otherwise, change in a multi-person match, because there's rarely any real build to that. Do you know what I mean? I think WWE did it years ago when they did that four-way. I can't remember what the show was called, but it was like genuine. Everybody in that match had a reason to be there for that title, and I think it was a vacant title. So it was just like
I remember this. What you're talking about? I can't bring to mind who it was, but it was like, all of these people make sense.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of feel like when you've got someone like Tony, who again, one of the most popular women on the AEW roster, one of the most popular wrestlers on the AEW roster, great doing promos, great doing her the press, so good at that. So I don't know why you don't use that to bring the next person up instead of just going, okay, well, people are really starting to really like Statlander. She's had 2 months now where she's not injured. Let's put the belt on her.
Yeah, but Alex Fireheart with the big question mark, right? The most interesting part to me is that Tony took the fall rather than using the multi-woman scenario to avoid her taking the fall.
Yeah, that's another thing. They tend to do this a lot where they have. Well, let's look for example. What's her name? Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Athena.
They had that whole thing about she hadn't lost in how long, and then they had to lose in a tournament match that really didn't mean anything in the end.
Yep.
Yeah, she's over 1,000 days as Ring of Honor champ, and then she just lost in a second round tournament match on Dynamite.
Yeah, so I don't know why you don't capitalize on these things. You capitalize on Tony by you bringing a big heel to beat her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or like you suggested, Jamie, you have Statlander go with the Death Riders and turn her heel. But then
the crowd is cheering her at the moment, which is why the turn would have hit so much harder.
Yeah.
They weren't just indifferent to Stat.
Yeah. It's kind of hard because she was just a heel. She's turned back face. You know what I mean?
You flip-flopping her backwards and forwards.
Yeah, it's so hard when that sort of stuff. Like, for me, turning someone heel, you do it with, Willow.
Yeah, that's a big moment.
There's not one person that boos Willow. You turn her heel, you have Statlander turn the Death Riders down and Willow accept. Woo-wee! That's a story.
Yeah, you get the kids crying in the crowd faces with that one.
Yeah, big time. Also happening on AEW, Orange Cassidy has returned on Dynamite with one of my favorite Orange Cassidy touches is when the Tron just shows media not found. I love that. So that's fun. Always
Did
nice
you
to
see his tweet later this afternoon?
No, I did not.
I thought I supplied them with the right media format this time, but I guess not.
We've also had a couple of matches be put forward with Darby Allin challenging Jon Moxley to an I Quit match at WrestleDream. And as well as that, next week on Dynamite, we've got Kyle Fletcher versus Hologram with a title versus streak match, which will be very interesting.
Do we see holograms? Well, I was going to say, do you see this is where we see holograms like double come out?
Yeah, I think this is the clone
Black
debut.
hologram. Yeah, the
El
clone.
Clon.
El Clon.
Hologram Negro.
Well, I mean,
could be. It wouldn't actually shock me at this point to see them take the title off Kyle Fletcher for the sake of making it more believable that he will win the big one in Australia.
It's way too soon. I think you save his losing the title to a Full Gear or something. The next big pay-per-view.
I think you have him defend.
I agree.
Have him defended in Australia
because you've got like 4 months, right? So
yeah, I keep forgetting that it's like February and not like October.
Yeah,
WWE coming in.
Yeah, like they've still got WrestleDream, Full Gear, and World's End. They've still got 3 pay-per-views before we even get to Australia.
I don't understand having Darby Allin and Jon Moxley in an I Quit match when they literally just had a coffin match and fucking Darby burnt him to a fucking crisp, evidently.
Yep.
Well, it was imagine that he burned him to a crisp. I can't imagine what more you could do to somebody. But no, we'll go back. Like it seems like backwards booking almost.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that? It feels like they're working their way back to just a singles match.
Just a regular singles match.
Yeah, the blow-off will be a regular singles match.
Yeah.
Well, that would be unusual for Moxley.
Most hold barred, yeah. Look, so there's
just
the
a pure title match on Collision.
Yes.
Pure rules match with Jon Moxley.
Pure rules match.
Oh, man.
Beautiful.
So the wider news in the world of wrestling at the moment is the PWI 500. So this is the list that Pro Wrestling Illustrated puts out once a year with their 500 top competitors in the open division. Now, we'll get ahead of this. A couple of things here quickly. First of all is the way they decide on these names is to do with a whole lot of different factors, right? So
Please save my social media.
So
please explain this.
First off, it's half kayfabe, half not kayfabe. They're looking at people who have performed well at a high level in good matches who basically look strong in their companies, right? So number 1 is Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes is the champion. He was the champion for most of that period. He very rarely lost matches. It was big matches and he beat big opponents, right? Those are the things that they're looking for, right?
And it's specifically singles matches.
Singles matches, right? Not tag teams. We're not looking at tag teams. We're looking at singles matches. Also, it is in the men's/open division. So what this means is that it's only for competitors working in matches where the kind of main heavyweight title or whatever is on the line. So it's men and women who have worked intergender. It is not including women's division. It's not including tag team. Those are separate divisions that get their own PWI lists later. What that means is you will see women on the list, but they are all women who have competed in intergender matches throughout the period, right? Is there a tag team PWI list, says Alex Fihart? Yes, there is. I believe it's 100.
Yeah, I think it's 100.
Yeah. And there's a women's 250 that comes out, right? The women that you see on the 500 all have done intergender stuff over the 12-month period that they look at. The women's 250 that will come out will have the women who have not been working predominantly intergender, who have been working in specific women's divisions. So you're not going to see Rhea Ripley or Toni Storm on the PWI 500 because they're not working in the quote-unquote open division. They're working in women's divisions, so they'll be in the women's 250. You will, however, see, and I'll just throw out one who we're about to mention, Charlie Evans on the PWI 500, because Charlie Evans is the PWA champion. She has been taking on any person, man or woman, who is challenging for that title. She's worked intergender. She's worked in the quote-unquote men's or open division. Therefore, she's eligible for the PWI 500, right? It's a lot of disclaimers because we get a lot of confusion about that every time this list comes out.
My social media since Thursday or Wednesday has just been, where's Rio? Where's Tony? Like,
do you know what annoys me though?
Didn't qualify.
You comment on it, you go, okay, this is why, and then somebody asks, but where's blah blah? I'm like, scroll up, dickhead. Like you don't write that, but you look at it and go, how fucking hard is it? It's like those
read
morons
the comments
on Facebook. It's like those morons on Facebook that literally go on there and post, do you know if Coles is open today? Hey, you went on the internet to ask that question. Try asking it to fucking Google.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Macho Man Andy Savage is right, saying, additional disclaimer, chefs would fucking hate you calling your matches intergender. Yes, this is the way PWA is looking at it.
PWA criteria.
Right.
Which is also why another one that got called out for not being on the list was Roman.
Are you referring to a specific sport or event?
Be quiet.
You're having a crack at it, no.
Roman is not on the list.
Oh, because he didn't
Roman
have
not on the list.
He had 4 singles matches and a bunch of tag matches, which don't qualify.
I think you have to have
10.
Like I was going to say there's a base level of matches you have to have.
10 singles matches in the 12-month catchment period, and he had 4.
Yeah, because it's like August to August.
Yeah, so August 1st, 2024 to July 31st, 2025 is the period, which also means that in these results, you're going to see someone like Kyle Fletcher, who has been absolutely on top of his game for the last 2-ish months. Those aren't part of this assessment period, right? You've got to think we're at the end of September. The assessment period, the evaluation period ended at the end of July. So it has been all of August and all of September are counted to next year's PWI 500. So
which bodes well for someone clocking in at 33.
Absolutely. So let's look at this list so far and specifically look at the Aussies who have made this list, going from the end of the 500. At 456 is Ricky South. At 290, by the way, 9 Aussies in the top 300. That's huge, right? So Ricky South at 456. At 293 is Adam Brooks. At 239 is Tommy Knight. At 231 is Bronson Reed. At 226 is Jimmy Townsend. At 217 is Robbie Eagles. At 192 is Caveman Ugg. At 131 is Jessica Troy. Then cracking the top 100 at number 99 is Charlie Evans. And at number 33, Kyle Fletcher. Nicolia also pointing out PWI have had writers say it's a bit of fun too. One writer openly said that a lot of the indie names in the 500 is based on names they find interesting or people that contact the magazine, right? You're not
it's got a lot to do with the people that contact the magazine, because let's face it, I don't know how many matches they're watching of like PWA and all of that every year. You just don't know. Yeah. Like for instance, and I know this is like massively being a dick about it, but I don't mean to. Someone like Mitch Ryder had an amazing year with some of the people he worked, and some of the like he beat Robbie Eagles. He was in he main evented the Super Show with Robbie and Zeke. He's
won main events in Japan.
Yeah, he bloody worked the program with Jesse Love over the year that was really good as well. Like the stuff he's done this year, you could arguably say you could put him forward, but nobody puts him forward. You don't know how, and the name doesn't get to see it. People just don't get to see it. Like he match against Tuckman as well.
Yeah, and Tuckman's another one that missed out despite winning the PWA Rumble, the solo PWA title against Robbie Eagles, and having tag runs, which don't count, but
the tag run doesn't count. That's
a good run in MCW. Like he's been all over Australia wrestling, over in the States wrestling, and he didn't make the list at all as well.
Yeah.
Whereas, as Nicolia mentions, someone like Mr. Ooh La La, just because he's got a fun name, has been around the 450 mark for 20 years straight, right? It's not that they're going out and watching every match. If you work at PWA, you don't have to make sure that every match gets watched and accounted for. But, it's... These lists always get people hot under the collar, and there's always, this person should have been higher, why is this person not on the list, rah, rah, rah. It's kayfabe. it's a gimmick, right? That's what's going on here.
If you're not in the top 10, if you're not in the top 10 or the top 20, you kind of want to be 500.
Yeah.
So then at least you got a gimmick calling yourself Mr. 500.
Yep. That's a good gimmick.
Year.
Right? Or like you can be Charlie Evans and say that you're in the top 100 and people can, call out that you're 99. Yeah. And be like, yeah, that's top 100. Ha ha ha. Right? So there's a lot going on there, and I guess it's, up to people how they take it.
I'm actually surprised that Robbie Eagles is so low. Like so high, low, if you know what I mean. Like 217. Seems very...
Yeah. Seems very low.
Very, yeah. Like I would have thought he would have been up around like 50 at least.
Yeah, me too.
Because he was
50.
He was solo PWA champion for the longest time in that period.
Yeah.
Plus
he had it for nearly the whole year.
He was New Japan tag champ, right?
Yeah, tag. Doesn't really count. But how did he do in the Super Juniors?
Yeah,
he did well.
Not good. He did well.
Yeah. He did solid, but he didn't make the finals or anything, so.
No.
Yeah, okay.
He was mid-card.
He was one of those people who were mathematically eliminated near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the PWI 500 before we move on?
Just trying to find who the top 10 were.
I know that Cody was at number 1, and I don't remember the rest.
Okay, so it was Cody.
You were first or your last, son.
Cody
was in the top 3.
Moxley, Gunther, Hangman, Goto at 5, then Jey Uso, Swerve Strickland, Rollins, Mystico, and Ospreay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good list, right? Nicolai is saying Robbie's relatively low placing could be in part the New Japan interest in general isn't what it was a few years ago. Yeah, but Hiroki Goto is making the top 10.
Yeah, and it's still got more interest than PWA and fucking Charlie's 99.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. We'll quickly... is there anything else we want to mention about the 500 before we move on to some other news?
No. Just it's really good seeing that many names from Australia. And hopefully going forward... there's one thing I just don't know. I want to know. Like, where was Tony and Rhea?
Shut up.
Okay.
So...
Ask a question. Jeez.
Outside of the major companies, we'll talk quickly. First off, in All Japan Pro Wrestling, we've got new tag team champions with Odyssey Jones and Zion Quinn.
Australia represent.
Zion Quinn.
Yep.
Well done.
Another Aussie champ.
He's been spending some time here in Queensland as well lately.
He has. Well, he went to the same high school I did, so...
I don't know if he's basing himself here and just flying to Japan like say, Robbie would. Which is possible.
It makes a lot more sense than basing yourself in America and doing it.
Yeah, well, I suppose, and it depends what his work visa situation is as well, or his visa situation.
Very true. But I like them as a team. It's a couple of big guys. You got one guy who's buff, one guy who's wide. I think that's a good team. That's a fun dynamic. I like that a lot.
Yeah, they have the really imaginative name of Zion and Odyssey.
Yeah, like really out there with the gimmicks, right?
That's a tag name.
All right, we'll hit something a little bit more serious now. Former TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich has been accused of domestic violence by her former partner, independent wrestler Akira. The allegations surfaced on Tuesday morning when a friend of Akira's took to social media to share dozens of screenshots and images portraying alleged conversations between Slamovich and Akira. It's worth noting that the screenshots and photos have not been verified as of press time, though the link included in the social media post contains 114 images of alleged evidence. The takedown on SI reached out to TNA management regarding the allegations against Slamovich on Tuesday night. A spokesperson for the organization replied with the statement, quote, "We take any allegations like this very seriously and have begun an internal investigation," end quote. Akira took to social media during the afternoon on Tuesday and issued a lengthy statement. In it, he detailed elements of their relationship without addressing her by name. He claims that he nearly committed suicide on 3 separate occasions throughout the alleged turmoils of the relationship. Jesus. Masha released the following statement on social media, quote, Up until the beginning of this year, I was in a toxic and mutually destructive relationship. We hurt each other deeply and in private moments failed to treat each other with the consideration and respect we both deserve. I take responsibility for my actions and I am sorry, embarrassed, and ashamed of the role I played in our relationship and the way things turned out. In the time since, I have sought help to reflect on this time and deal with conflict in more mature, healthier, and sustainable ways. I apologize to those that I let down, including my former partner. I hope he is able to heal. This will be my only statement on the matter. Masha. End quote. Since this broke Masha's match from this weekend's TNA Victory Road has been pulled, and she's subsequently been dropped by several indie bookings that are upcoming. Before we get into anything, if you are experiencing thoughts of self-harm, violence against yourself, anything, reach out. There are tons of organizations, there are tons of people who are there to help. Please get help if and when you need it. Don't let situations become bigger than they should be, right? That's first and foremost. We want to make sure people get the help they need. Personally, I think
the same with domestic violence too. If
Yes.
you're experiencing that, seek help. Don't just stay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Masha's statement on this is one of the more mature and reasonable statements that there could be. Things like this are awful when they happen, and I'm really glad to see people clearly taking this situation seriously, right? There's a few risks that come with things like this. First off, you know, we always want to say we want people to believe victims of violence, and people are believing, and especially when a male is the victim and a female is the perpetrator of violence, we want people to take that seriously, and people are taking this seriously. So those are all, you know, positive points that show things are moving in a better direction. It's obviously terrible that any of this happened. The fact that it becomes a very public and very scrutinized situation obviously is not super helpful for anyone involved. I'm sure that Akira does not benefit a lot by having this brought up into the light and talked about by every Tom, Dick, and Harry around. So, you know, obviously thoughts go out to him in what I'm sure is a very stressful situation. I think that Masha's response has been quite mature and acknowledged that things happen that were inappropriate without, you know, putting all of the blame elsewhere. Taking, you know, a share of responsibility for this, I think, is very mature. I hope that everyone involved gets the help that they need, I think, is where I come down on this, you know? Like, it sucks that this situation has happened. There's nothing that can make this situation unhappen, is the big point. So moving forward, hopefully, this results in everyone taking steps to be safe, mature, responsible, you know? Alex Fireheart saying, well, I'd rather know that Masha allegedly got up to this kind of behavior, but I also do wish Akira had way more agency in this info being made public. Yeah, like, it's better for there to be awareness that, you know, there was inappropriate behavior and that to be addressed rather than it to be swept under the rug. But at the same time, like, it being all over the internet for people to access hundreds of photos of screenshots, like...
Yeah, and he wasn't the one that released them either.
Yeah, particularly part of his statement was, I was not ready for this to go public. I didn't want to make this public. And now that it is, I've kind of just got to deal with it. So that sucks.
Yes. Yeah. It's also important to bring into the light that while the majority of DV cases you hear of is men against women, it does also happen the other way.
Yeah, it's not an exclusively one-way street.
No. Which both ways suck. But I think it's important to know that it is, like, it can happen on both sides of the relationship. Yeah,
absolutely. Obviously, we don't want to minimize anything happening here. I don't think it's super... Obviously, when we're talking about everything going on around the world of wrestling, like, this is a pretty big deal, and we've got to address it. But I think we kind of want to move on and not minimize it too much, but also not spend too much time bringing it up and bringing up stuff that people, might have a bad time hearing. A couple of places that you can contact if you are in a situation that's a struggle for you. Beyond Blue and Gotcha for Life here in Australia, two awesome charities that we put a lot of support behind here at Wrestle Radio Australia. So we want to shout them out and also mention that, our merch proceeds go to Beyond Blue and Gotcha for Life. So if you want to help support those charities, one of the ways you can do that is by jumping over to Redbubble and grabbing some Wrestle Radio Australia merch, because we want to help those guys as much as possible. They do amazing work supporting mental health here in Australia, and men's mental health especially. And that's an awesome thing. So speaking of awesome things, we are going to head to our chicken salad, but first we are going to get some chicken shit out of the way. It's, I think, going to be a little more subtle than what we've just been talking about. I'll pass to Jamie first. Jamie, have you got some chicken shit for the week?
I had a couple. We kind of touched on the Cena Brock thing. So the other one was Gail Kim's comments about Riho this week. Probably unnecessary, particularly from someone with so much sort of respect in the industry as Gail Kim, to then come and basically bash one of the other female performers over.
I think she was supposed to.
I think she was like
the way she was shot as well. Not
I think it was more on the production.
Yeah,
but like, just the way that she framed it with like calling out Riho's attire and stuff. I was like, is that like, do we need to approach it that way? Could we just approach the production of wrestling? Which I was in the chat with Kate earlier today talking about. That camera angle is not an exclusive to women's matches that it is awkward. Like, it's a camera angle that they use in men's matches as well, where you're like, that is full dong, and I didn't need that camera angle. Like, why are we going that way? So it's.
I mean, it was also, she brought up the thing about the whole size disparity, and it's not a new argument. It's an argument that's been talked about, especially with Riho, for the longest time.
Yeah.
It's not the only thing Gail Kim's been on Twitter about recently either. I saw her getting in some interesting exchanges about deathmatch wrestling. Mm-hmm. So
that's what started.
Yeah, right. So
you think she was like, and while we're at it, that fucking Riho.
Yeah. It sucks that we're still dealing with those kind of takes. And like Alex Firehart saying size disparity is a funny argument from the woman whose most iconic opponent is Awesome Kong.
Yeah,
right. And Gail Kim was not a big competitor.
No, she's not. But also, let's have a look at the size difference between Gail Kim and Riho. That would basically be like Gail Kim and Awesome Kong.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like Riho is a tiny person.
Yeah, and it's a situation where I can understand some of the things that Gail Kim is saying, but I also then, like, the idea that sexualization is a problem is very true, but then to make it like, I don't know. I also think that some of the responses to her comments have been ridiculous. Cough, Kenny Omega. Omega, like, just saying, oh, she's in much unkinder words, saying that she's just selling out to TKO. I was not a fan of that, so it's a whole pile.
You must be on the pain meds again.
Especially because, like, of all the people that would do that, I think Gail's probably the last person that would do that.
Yes. Yeah. Right?
Just
like,
keep
Gail...
playing Street Fighter, brother.
Macho Man Andy Savage in the chat saying, shit, Cena's retirement tour is wrestling's biggest booking fuck-up since the invasion. Counting down appearances, then spending one on Brock in that match felt kind of like a slap in the face. Yeah, my chicken shit was Brock Lesnar absolutely destroying John Cena as part of his retirement tour when the guy's just been world champion. Partially because I don't think Brock Lesnar is the type of person who you should be giving the Cena rub to. If you're going to have Cena lose a match, there's a lot of younger guys who you could do that for. And then just have it be Drew McIntyre getting the win over him, right? And put someone else in Cody's way for that match. And then you've got a bigger build for Drew, right? I think there's a lot of options there. but also because of the fact that I don't want to see Brock Lesnar on my TV anymore. I think he's a despicable dude, and I don't like him, and I don't like watching his matches, and I didn't like watching this match. There was just no redeeming factor for me. I understand why the booking decision's made. It doesn't change the fact that there wasn't a redeeming factor for me in this match. Wild Angel says, shit, I love learning about new tag teams and not knowing who is in them, especially if I'm seeing them for the first time on a poster. Names, please, promotions. That's a really good point.
You want names on a poster?
I know. Wild call.
No, but it's just like there's only so much real estate on a poster.
It can get very messy.
As someone who designs posters, there's only so much real estate on a poster.
I think more what Wild Angel is getting at is if you've got an image that is promoting a tag team, like actually mention who is in it. Like if there's a big image that says Sisters of Sin, right? Put on there Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Is the message that I'm getting from that, which I agree with. Alex Fireheart's chicken shit is, I'm sick to death of, quote, the women's title is just the men's design, but smaller. So I was not a fan of the AEW Women's World Tag title belts. Ironic that WWE's only not just the men, but smaller example is their women's tag team title belts. That's a really interesting point there, Alex. I agree. Todd,
I don't.
You don't agree?
Not at all.
You like just the women's belt being a smaller version of the men's belt?
Yeah, because it puts them on the same level. It's not the Divas title.
Yeah.
That's a whole different conversation.
The smaller is just because they're smaller framed people.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously the belts are going to be smaller no matter what. I like when belts have different designs, right? Like, it's the same reason that I hated when the SmackDown and Raw tag team titles were the same design on a different colored
on a
strap.
blue strap or a red strap.
Right?
Yeah, that sucked.
Like, that sucks. Yeah. Have a unique design for a title because it's a thing people care about and they want to win and should be prestigious and like should be a thing that matters, right? The women's world tag titles should be the women's world tag titles. They should be something that female tag teams want to go out and win. They shouldn't be a reflection on men's titles. They should be their own design. That's my
I guess the
take.
one thing in
gendering
favor
a title,
of
mate? It's just a title. It's a design. They're saying they're the world champions in that division.
Okay, so they've got two identical titles?
For the men's and women's, yeah.
Yeah, one says men's, one says women's.
Yeah.
But I guess like the one thing that is in favor of that argument in AEW is the women's world title is not just a men's world title but smaller. It is a totally unique design. So I guess in that case you could argue, well, the tags should be the same. They should be slightly different.
Like Nick D'Elia is saying, to be fair, in other combat sports, the belts for weight classes and genders are pretty universal, which if that's the design philosophy you want to go with, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
every
make
belt
that
should be the
design
same.
philosophy, right? Make the women's title and the men's title and the women's tag and the men's tag and the mid-card men's and the mid-card women's, make those all similar designs. I'm fine with it. But I think that's a bad choice because I think you want to have some differentiation, right? Like, I would complain if the Intercontinental Championship looked the same as the WWE Championship, right? I think they should look different. That's the same.
Also, you also look at somewhere like, and Nick sort of hit it on the head, look at the UFC titles. They're all the same.
Yeah, it's just the one generic design for everything.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, but I think they should go one way or the other.
Like men's and women's are all the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the weight classes are all the same. That's fine. If they wanted to do that, make the IC look the same as the world title. That's fine. But that's not the design philosophy they've been going with, which is why it irks me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if the women's title was just this belt but smaller, you could justify the tag belts being the same idea. But because the singles belts are different.
The title's already changed how many times? Twice now?
3. They've had 3 different designs.
Yeah. See, they can't even work out what they want to do with it.
Yeah.
Maybe originally he's like maybe I should just made a smaller same title.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone loves this design.
I like
the great
belt.
belt.
I like the fact that the Intercontinental belt men's and women's are the exact same. Just different sizes. I like that. Because I think that's a division. Same with the United States women's and men's. They're the same. It's the same division. Like, I kind of dig that.
Yeah, I can see that. Anyway, Todd, chicken shit for the week.
Yes. Well, I have Jeff's.
Oh, yes. Fire away with Mr. Setty's, please.
Yes. Chicken shit. Obviously, the Brainier thing is a lot of shit. Feel better, Welshie. He tells me he's in a lot of pain, but ultimately, it's how disappointing WrestlePalooza was. What a waste of time, save for one match. I believe he's talking about the women's match. I should put him right into there and I said, I believe he's talking about the Lesnar match. Fuck, that's a missed opportunity on my part, and I apologise.
Next week would be Todd showing up with a bleeding nose.
Oh dear. And I have two chicken shits. Both of them Aussie wrestling related. So buckle in. One is it's a promotion we just don't talk about on the show, and just for reasons. But Peak Pro Wrestling had to cancel one of their shows because their venue now was reported to the council or something like that for zoning issues or something, I believe it is. And I think they're sort of edging to the part that they were maybe dobbed in by somebody. And if that's the case, that's shit. That's completely dog shit. Like, if you're out here as a competing promotion and you're just doing that because you know you can get them like cancelled or given a problem, you're I don't want to drop you're a C-bomb, okay? Just fucking work it out. Like, either make your promotion better or get the fuck out the way. So, and I have nothing against Pete, because from what I hear, Nick Galea's been to the shows and said they're decent enough shows, and they're giving young wrestlers a chance to get their reps, which is important to do because there are a lot of promotions that there's no room for them to get their reps in. So that's cool. I just hope they find a venue where they can start running their shows again, because So and Nick Lee's just said here too. Pete gets a lot of shit. To be fair, they were serving a purpose, and it gave young guys an opportunity to learn and train. Exactly what I said. He went to 3 of their shows and it was fine. Yeah, see. So like,
and I think they were running like weekly shows there for a while, weren't they? So it's
it was something like 14 shows in 2 months or something like that.
Yeah. So that is great opportunity to get experience and get ring reps in consistently.
Yeah. Like, literally, the only downside to that is that sometimes you wear out your market. It depends what you're charging for tickets. See, I don't know what they were charging for tickets.
That's the thing, right? If people are showing up.
Yeah, it was a WWE thing, isn't it? You can charge what you want. Fucking, if they're going to pay for it, then they're going to pay for it. So, and the other one, and I saw this on the socials, and I was like, really, you can't think of anything else to do? Like, there are a lot of people in a small group, really, in Australian wrestling, right? And we all have our things. Like Caveman Ugg, you wouldn't go out and be another Caveman Ugg. You wouldn't be like another caveman type character. Or do you know what I mean? And then I saw this today, and it really fucking irked me. So I'm just going to play this.
I never thought listen to Jamie Moore would actually be a necessary sentence to escape anyone.
To be fair, that's advice everyone should take. Listen to Jamie Moore.
I don't advise.
Now, Jamie,
guilty.
That's my fucking gimmick, bro. That's my gimmick. Right, do I have to play the Meltzer? The Alvarez?
No.
Do I have to?
You don't have to.
Are you sure?
You do not have to.
Well,
let Todd. He knows his stuff. Maybe we should listen to him more often.
Well, you're clearly not listening to us, telling us that you didn't need to play it, but...
Because I don't have to listen to you. You listen to me. That's the gimmick, brother.
I had no idea where you were going with that. That was great.
I know. Thank you.
Nick Galea shouting out WRA political civil war.
And if you really want to know, I hid the fucking video so far up in the list that Lachlan wouldn't be able to see what it was. And Lachlan, just quickly have a look and see what it's titled. It's right next to Wheeler Yuta.
Here we go. Oh, it's right next to this.
Hey, Toddy, this is Wheeler Yuta.
Close that quick. It is called Judas in the file list. Jesus Christ.
Well played. Well played.
All right,
Thank
we're
you,
going to
sir.
be a bit more positive, I think. Jamie.
I thought that was really positive for a shit.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd. Do you have a chicken salad for the week, Jamie?
Mine was the women's tag titles in AEW. they have been long needed for that division to give that roster more things to do because they have a lot of women on that roster. So very glad to see that finally pulled the trigger. Just depends on when and where the tournament happens.
Yeah, it's going like there's not even a question, is there?
No, and I think the next pay-per-view is too soon. It's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, that's right. Also, credit to Nick Galea for pointing out that the three of us need to not fight. Things should return to the natural balance soon of everyone versus Jeff. That'll be great. Macho Man Andy Savage saying Kyle Fletcher, the guy who had the FTR match in the Velocities trilogy as half of Aussie Open, the guy who I saw had an underrated classic against Robbie Eagles at Tamashi in Melbourne, still absolutely blowing me away with how amazing he could be. Yeah, that's my chicken salad as well, is once again seeing Aussies main eventing huge shows and over-delivering. The thing that gets me with Kyle Fletcher is that bastard's 26. He is 26 years old, and he's putting on 40-minute main events that go the distance in AEW and stack up with any other AEW main event. Like,
it's very much how we talked about Rhea back in the day, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Right? So, like, to
Kyle
see
Fletcher,
someone
the
else
guy that toe-paid on top of me and almost killed me, but I'm glad to see him doing good things now.
Good stuff.
We need more of these, like, Aussie. Where are the young guys like Instagram? Where have they gone? Alex Fireheart saying that his chicken salad.
He's hanging out with Facebook somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it was Instagram that landed on me potentially.
There you go. Instagram and Facebook, huh? There's some gimmicks. TJPW Wrestle Princess 6 happened on the weekend, and as much as All Out had higher highs, Alex Fireheart overall enjoyed Wrestle Princess more on the whole. If nothing else, they recommend the 3 title matches, and Miyu and Turumbami versus Yuki Aino and Ryo Mizunami. Damn solid show. That's it's always good to see companies like TJPW doing well, because it's always so great when they're able to put forward great talent. Todd, have you got a chicken salad for us?
I actually really I enjoyed the opening part of All Out. You know, when Edge and Christian Cope and Christian were walking through. If you're a Trailer Park Boys fan, so good to see that. It popped me huge, especially when Green Bastard. Like,
as a non-Trailer Parks Boys fan, I was lost.
Yeah, you
I was
would
very confused. I was like, "What is this?"
You would have been. But that's like a Canada staple as well. It surprised me that Shawsey didn't show up somewhere.
Yeah. Get Letterkenny in there. It'll be great.
Yes.
Look, I mean, it shows how wide the world of wrestling is, right? How much, like, different stuff you can get, the amount of, like, variety in all of it. And to keep up with it, I think you need Wrestle Radio Australia. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to Wrestle Radio Australia. It's free. You can do it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, anywhere you get your podcasts from. In fact, there should be 2 places that you're going to specifically. First of all, you should be going to YouTube. You should be getting on this video and last week's video and leaving a comment if you're in Melbourne and you can get along to the Melbourne Pavilion, leaving a comment about who in MCW you're excited about at the moment, who in MCW is blowing you away, because you can be in the draw to win a double pass to MCW Clash of the Titans, which is on October 14th at the Melbourne Pavilion. We'll be announcing the winners for that on the 9th of October on our episode going live. So if you want to be in the draw, hit up those YouTube videos, leave those comments, and a big thank you to MCW for providing us with that double pass to give away. And speaking of, if you head on over to X and you tweet at PW Australia and at Wrestle Radio AU with somebody that's in PWA, what PWA dream match do you have? What's the match you want to see in PWA? You could be in the draw to win a double pass to PWA's upcoming show live at the Mounties 9 Finals Fever. That show's on October 4th at Mounties, and it's got dropouts versus Ichiban Sweet Boys. So a huge thank you to PWA for providing us with that double pass to give away as well.
We might even make this slightly easier, where I will cut this part up and I'll put this part up as a video on X. And if you share this video and tag PWA and Wrestle Radio Australia in it, and do that exactly what Lachlan said before, also in the running for the...
Fantastic. So get those...
Please be in Sydney to be able to go and use them. Please go and be considered to use them.
Please be someone who can use the tickets, not just someone who wants to tweet about how good the company is, although they are great, right?
Yeah, tweet about them being great all you want. Just don't.
Yeah. You don't have to tag us.
Don't do it for that thing.
Right. So make sure you do that by midnight on the 1st, because when we're back here on the 2nd of next month, that's in 1 week's time, we're going to be announcing a winner for that double pass for PWA at the Mounties. So thank you so much to PWA for those tickets as well and giving us the chance to give those away. Make sure that you're following what we do. If you're going to be on X tweeting at WrestleRadio.au, hit follow on WrestleRadio.au. We're also at WrestleRadio.au on Instagram. We're WrestleRadio Australia on Facebook. You can find us on all those places. If you could stop by Apple Podcasts, give us a review, give us 5 stars. It really helps us get into more ears, gets us shared around. And if you want some Wrestle Radio Australia merch, you can head on over to Redbubble, buy some merch there. Proceeds don't go to us. They go to Beyond Blue and Gotcha for Life, 2 charities that support men's mental health here in Australia, which is so, so important. And we love that for you. If you want some other merch, you can head on over to kickout.com.au, merch of your favorite Queensland wrestlers from around the country. Get amongst it, get some merch. If you're a wrestler and you want to get your merch up on kickout.com.au, message Kickout on their Insta page. They'll be able to help you there. Macho Man Andy Savage in the chat saying, I bounced back from some adversity tonight. Solid effort. Thank you, Macho Man Andy Savage. This is the most I have bled in a podcast ever. It's been a real struggle.
I bleed for this.
My blood, sweat, and tears for this podcast. While he's not here, we, of course, really want to support what Jeff Setti is doing with WrestleBrania. Obviously, it's horrible that WrestleBrania this weekend has been cancelled. But, make sure you're following at _Brania so you can keep up with the other shows that they've got coming up and support what they're doing. While you're doing that, you can follow at Beast Eastman. Whoop, he's that way. You can follow at Beast Eastman. You can follow at Lachlan Albert. You can follow at Jamie Apps Media. And Jamie, what else should we be following along with what you're doing?
Just follow me on Pario Magazine, where there are going to be 2 pretty big movie reviews coming out in the next week. Tomorrow, dropping One Battle After Another, which, spoiler, is one of my favorite movies of this year. And then next week, we're dropping a review of The Smashing Machine on the podcast.
So pissed about that.
So keep an eye out for that. And if you watch
that tonight, wouldn't I?
You would have. You would have been there right now.
Son of a bitch.
And yeah, if you watch Dynamite, come and watch it with me on the Hive, because we have a ton of fun over there. We don't really watch wrestling. We don't talk wrestling. We just have fun and hang out.
And Ozrest cards, right?
Oh yeah, yes, we have Australian wrestling cards.
Oh yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
me.
we do that.
Got to mentally file through all of the things you do.
There are a whole bunch shipping out tomorrow, so if you want them, get in.
See, I don't do that much exciting stuff. You can just come at Lachlan Albert, message me about the Yakuza Kiwami 3 reveal trailer or Hades 2 dropping tonight. I'm excited for stuff. Let's do it. You know what? You know what else I'm excited for? Next Thursday, where we're going to be back for Making Chicken Salad. You know what else I'll mention that I'm excited about is EPW's Rumble, which we got the honor of announcing 2 more competitors for tonight. There is the graphic you can see announced for the West versus the Rest Rumble is Juicy Gino Gambino, Mr. Juicy himself, announced representing the Rest, as well as Caveman Ugg in that 20-person Rumble at EPW. This is our house at Willerton Stadium on Sunday, the 12th of October. Get your tickets at EPWTix.com. It was just on the screen, and I already missed it.
Perth.
EPW Perth. There we go. I've lost EPWPerth.com. I've lost too much blood. I clearly can't keep doing this. So you will have to join us back here next Thursday for Wrestle Radio Australia for Making Chicken Salad.
If you're up in Brisbane, come and check out UPW this weekend. Fine Crown Glory 8, massive card. Really looking forward to actually, aside from the match that I'll actually be involved with Mitch and EC Diamond, the rest of the card looks really good. So I'm really looking forward to actually watching the show this weekend. So if you're in Queensland, if you're in, especially around the Sunny Coast area, hit up UPW at Aussie World. Yeah, the shared at Aussie World. Head along and check out a really good company, a really good night of wrestling.
Yeah, I'm planning on heading up, so say hi. Well, with that said...
Bring your microphone gimmick. We might do some stuff.
That's the plan. All right, with that said, this has been Making Chicken Salad on Wrestle Radio Australia. On behalf of Mr. Jamie Apps and Mr. Todd Eastman, I've been Lachlan Albert. Till next time, Have a good one.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as